Welcome to South Harmon.
What up, everyone? Wednesday night AMA. Live and in the building. Hope everyone's doing well.
Man.
Talked to Adam on my drive home from work and told him how great the weather was. It's like 76 today, 74, something like that. Either way, I'll take it. It's better than 30 and snow. But
Dude, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, Mike got me all excited. He says it's coming my way tomorrow. I'm going to try it out right now with the window open. It's about 50 degrees, and we'll see how it goes. We got
50
Govnick
ain't
here.
bad.
Dude, I'll take
50
the
ain't
breeze,
bad.
honestly. It's hot as hell in here. A lot of lights. If you don't know, check it out. Mike knows the drill. Does all the Nakua news get y'all nervous?
Ooh,
Listen, I'll star this. We can have the combo.
we getting hard hitting right off the rip.
Yeah, hello. Nope, we're not doing that today. We're going to go
No
right into
dinner,
it.
nothing. Govnick's like, take the drawers off.
Listen, and there's no dessert either. We're going straight to it. We got DB saying
Oh,
cheers.
man.
What's up, DB? DB's
Hey,
got,
see?
listen,
Hey, dude.
DB's always here. Okay, let me give a big shout out to Dynasty Barry, right? Always here. But the man, honestly, I think maybe I need to listen because he wants to talk. We got comments galore from the kid. So I'm going to star these up. Let me just go ahead and get this. We're working some things in. We're trying to get prepped for the draft. We're gonna see, where we're gonna have our draft. We're gonna host it obviously for you, but working on some stuff, Mike, and some
Bam.
some things like this. The Keep Trade Cut live pool from KTC.com to give you a little scroll action. We're gonna
Look at
try to
that.
have the draft with some graphics. We try to pretend like we're doing some shit here, but at the end of the day, it really just is shit. That's what we do here. So. We got my people. D-Walk, what's up, man?
You know how many hamsters had to die for that ticker?
Oh, dude, honestly, yeah, we don't like to talk about it. The hamsters have been completely misused and abused. Hey, hold on a second. Wait a minute now. Because see, Mike, I heard that the guy doesn't watch content anymore.
He misses us that much. He's
Dude,
taking a break from us for months.
Mike, I'll be honest with you. I sent the kid a text. I was thinking of him. I'm like, damn it, Corey, I miss you. Maybe, just maybe. Telling me there's a chance he might miss me too. Is the Horned Up Naked Guys chat room? It is, actually. Frankly, we don't normally talk about that except for here and there. But if you want to, we can do it all night, frankly. Corey knows the drill. Mike,
Check it out, Corey. Look, I'd be a great little spoon right now. All right, just like we back at the expo.
Corey, you see this? He's even taking submission now. The little spoon. I mean, what is going on around here?
That's right.
Mike, how about, you know what, here, let me do this too. Mike, how about the NCAA, Iowa? Okay, so a week ago, right, kind of joking around, Iowa's going to win it all. Not so fast, maybe, but hold on. They take out Florida. Just talk to me. Let's get your reaction.
They're playing well, man. I didn't have a lot of high hopes for the Florida game. I was like, oh, this could be a tough one, and they kept it close. They were up at times. They looked flat out dominant. They looked more physical than Florida at times, and I was like, what is going on here? What is going on? And the crazy thing, I think, at least for Iowa basketball purposes, is the whole season the team ran through Bennett Sturts, like the point god. All right, that was the guy. All right, ran through him.
Look at this guy. Mike is so damn happy. Something's got to change. This guy's acting like he's been in Iowa, basketball truther for years. I'm loving this energy. Let's go, baby.
He actually hasn't played very well these first two tournament games either.
He hasn't. Let me ask you this real quick, not to derail. Who is, or do you have a favorite Iowa Hawkeye hoopster for the years?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time? I got a couple. Most recent memory, maybe people know Devin Marble. He's Iowa's all-time leading scorer. His dad, Hawkeye legend, by the way, did his thing back in the 80s. Devin Marble was one of my favorites. But I'll take it a little bit more old school. Adam Haluska.
Oh,
right?
dude.
Remember
Listen,
Adam
that's a nice
Haluska?
pool, of course.
You like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I was curious to see, I was just curious if you were a Garza guy or not,
This is the problem with college basketball versus like NBA basketball. Okay. Back in the, 90s, early 2000s, the big man, the post game, that was a big thing. As we kind of got more advanced and Garza kind of falls into this, I don't really enjoy college post play anymore.
Interesting. So
Just because it
so much for
feels
the
like
old school. This guy's basically like, listen, the NBA has gotten rid of the big man completely. I'm okay if we just do away with the position for all time.
it. I like it when it's in the NBA. Let's say that if you got like a Joel Embiid modern day post player, like I like that.
I mean,
Okay, I like
he names
that.
the one of the like only.
Yeah, but
It's a dying breed.
I feel like in college, probably in the last 2 decades, right? That post player, it's not so much that they're good or they have a whole lot of skill. It's just the fact that they're big and 7 foot, and
Well, I mean,
they're
yeah.
going up against guys that are 6'9" centers. Like, yes,
So
you should average 20. Okay.
well, the truth of basketball as you go up the ranks levels, and I mean the levels are always crazy high as you get higher and higher. But like for example, NCAA Division I, Mike, we low major, high major, mid major, but to get to the NBA is a huge gap. But it's all up the ranks. It's bigger, stronger, faster. A lot of times it's not necessarily crazy skill gap. I mean, it can be, but it's really bigger, stronger, faster. So these big guys, they've been taken out of the NBA game because they can't play on the perimeter. But so you basically weren't the biggest fan because but he go out there and stroke it, man. Yeah, I'm surprised.
He could stroke it. I appreciate what he did for the Hawkeyes. All right, National Player of the Year. Should have been 2 times, but he got robbed one year because Obi Toppin. Who gives a shit? Fuck, he wasn't that good.
Sheesh. We didn't even get to Dayton gets a 1 seed. We didn't even get to see him fucking play because of COVID. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the current Hawkeye. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Yeah, but I appreciate his service, but definitely, when I think of all-time favorites, man, I'm a guard guy, man, and Adam Haluska could fucking stroke it. So.
Listen, it wasn't. Those two were actually great pools. Love it. Where do you think they finish? So, Mike, do you have? Are you going dancing? Like, is McNutter dancing? Is he really buying in? Are you going Elite Eight? You going Final Four? Where's your heart at?
I think Elite Eight's within the realm of outcome because Nebraska, it's a rival. We played them.
Now hold on. You beat the number 1 seed in the division. Of course, it's in the realm of outcome. They win one more fucking game. Jesus, come on.
No, I think this is we could realistically beat Nebraska. We'll be in the Elite Eight. I don't know after that.
By the way, I just wanted to put that out there for those that don't know. I mean. How is it Nebraska's playing Iowa? These fucking what is going on here for a chance to go to the Elite Eight? Mike, anything on the college basketball March Madness front here before we pivot back over to as Corey was wanting the big sexy talk. Before I just wanted to acknowledge Rob. This is a underrated comment. Love this energy. The 10 minutes late, what am I even paying for? Notoriously doesn't pay for anything. And Rob, I appreciate the humor. It's fucking fantastic comment. I love that, buddy. And I am late, 10 minutes late as normal,
paying, getting what you pay for.
Premium.
No, I think it's fantastic that Iowa plays Nebraska, right? For a chance to go to the Elite Eight. That's the way it should be. So do
I, actually, because this is good. It's a win-win for me, And Mike's happy. He's happy. But if it was Nebraska, I'm happy.
How's this bracket shake out here? Because the only thing better is if Iowa keeps moving on and they end up playing Iowa State at some point, which would be in the Final Four if that were to happen, which would be pretty fucking awesome. Actually, it would have to be in the fucking national championship game, but an Iowa State national championship game, that'd be cool.
So you're saying there's a chance? Honestly, why not? Iowa, though, I did want to say, Mike, Iowa, technically, I don't know, the 9-8 thing to me, if you're a 9 seed, you're not really a lower seed, but technically you're 9 and below, you're, the lower half of the bracket, let's say. I think there's only them in Texas as far as, higher than a 8 seed left.
It's the Nebraska rubber match. They split the regular season 1-1, so.
Imagine that. Well, let me ask you. This is one of the big things in college basketball in particular, and we'll get out of here because I'm sure nobody cares, especially Rob, who's probably annoyed that we're talking basketball after college hoops. And Mike, the thing is, what was it? Home split? Did they both win at home?
Because home split.
Yep. Yeah, college basketball, Mike, I think is people don't necessarily realize the home court advantage is crazy meaningful, and we're talking now. No home game. This is a March Madness crazy neutral site. What was the scores? Like, give me a little trip down memory lane here.
It was like 82. Yeah, it was like 82-75 the first time we played at Nebraska, lost on the road, higher scoring game when they came to Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Higher scoring game for one of the teams. It sounded like it wasn't that close.
Yeah, when they came to Carver Hawkeye, 50s, 57-52, I believe, something like that. Lower scoring. Iowa's pace. Pace.
Yeah, take the air out of the ball.
Yep.
Give me I'm gonna have to take a look here at this a little bit, but I'll tell you here in a little bit what my prediction is. I do think much like anything else though, it comes down to who's going to put the ball in the basket, who's going to shoot well. I think that Iowa, from what I've been seeing throughout the year, just going back and looking at it, they do well when they're playing good defense too. Which Yep. Not saying you can't do that in the tournament, but a lot of times these kids just get fucking hot. So we'll see if they can put it in the bucket too.
Putting balls in holes. That's what we're doing here.
Glory holes all over the place. We got D-Walk, glory hole. Who had Iowa going the furthest in shit hoops? That's a fantastic question. I bet you it's not actually Mike.
It's not Xbox, I can tell you that much. He's devastated. His national champion pick taken down by the Hawkeyes.
That poor kid. Why Xbox? I love you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I know it's not for shit hoops, but listen, it's okay. There's more to life than shit hoops. March Madness, Mike. Let's get into with Keep Trade Cut here. One, now I know it's been kind of going back and forth today, actually, but I've seen the last few days a running back as the number one overall asset in Dynasty, which, gosh, Mike, 2 years ago, last year, 3 years ago, we're a running back. What are we talking about here? We got to mute, but it's kind of crazy, man. 2026. I don't know if it's AI or if it's what's going on, but running backs back atop the map. What's happening?
We haven't seen levels of running backs being ranked this high in Dynasty since 2019, Adam. I remember those early Dynasty drafts. Some teams that have been around for a while. First pick, Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley. Dealer's choice.
Well, yeah, I mean, sheesh. I remember those early day, some of my first Dynasty startups, Mike, you're looking at, 3-4 picks, sometimes out of the top 6-7. You're looking at running backs, right? Seems like we're a long ways from that.
7 reference, didn't you?
Of course. You think I wasn't going to take a chance at that? I'll just say the only interesting part, at least for me, is that it's still. I think what makes it so interesting to me is that it's really a haves and have-nots. Like you talk about the 2019 era, that time frame, it was just running back centric. I mean, you're talking 7. I won't give you the other number, but 7 running backs in the first round. Like Kamara's going in the top 8 pick back then, right? You're looking at just the running back basically just littered throughout the first 3 rounds. The difference here is it's really, pick and choose between the guys that we think or people think are the bell cows, the difference ones. Bijan is at actually. We'll see if this thing switches or not. But Bijan technically now is down to 2. But 999 for Josh Allen, 9981 for Bijan. Essentially the same thing as far as asset goes. Gibbs is at 5. We have so you got to go all the way down to 16 for Genty and 17 Jeremiah Love. I think Jeremiah Love probably, my estimation is going to be passing Genty, but in the same tier here. Those 4 are the only ones, though, in the top 20. And then you got Etienne, who I think at the moment is pretty polarizing asset. And then it really just kind of takes a gigantic drop, right, for the position. So do you think Bijan and Gibbs are warranted, like if you're in a startup, taking them in the top 5, in a lineup league especially?
Well, let's take a trip down memory lane because I talked about it. I haven't seen this since 2019, those early startups. Then we were ruled by quarterbacks / wide receivers at the top. And
Let's
now
go
we
Jackson.
see this running back resurgence. One of the cool things about the Warp tool, Adam, is I can actually look at 2019 Warp, like where we were at. Let's take a trip 7 years ago.
We weren't using it then, but we can go back and see it. So let's talk about it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Number 1 player. 6.774 warp, which is pretty fucking high, Adam.
This guy's talking about me 6'7". He's going 6'7". I mean, come on, holy crap! Who is this?
Christian McCaffrey.
See, it sounds higher, but kind of similar this year. He was a freaking animal this year too.
Yeah, Still hanging around too, right? Still,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
hanging around 7 years later. So, if you were taking Christian McCaffrey 101 in your Dynasty Superflex startup, you're like, I ain't mad at it. I did all right, didn't I? Like, I had a
Mm-hmm.
pretty good season. 2019, what do you do in points per game? Yeah, that was his best year by far. 29.3 points per game, Adam. That's like LaDainian Tomlinson level shit.
That's those that's Hall of Fame, fantasy numbers, right? That's the Priest Holmes. Was it maybe not quite the Priest Holmes of glory days, but in that ilk, Sean
Well,
Alexander, that type shit.
almost 2,400 yards total. He went 1,000.
Yeah,
Almost
that's going to put him
1,400
in
on the
very
ground.
very rare territory, right?
116 catches. 116 fucking catches, Adam. Yeah, he did all right. He did all right. 19 tutties.
People, I don't think people got 116 catches. My God,
For a running back. It's fucking
Mike,
crazy.
I was going to say forget position. 116 catches is a hell of a season.
Number 2 in WARP that year, Adam. Quarterback.
2019.
Lamar
I was going to say
Jackson.
Lamar. That was this crazy year, right?
MVP year. Yep.
Yep.
He did all right.
Mahomes wasn't too far off the pace, was he?
Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Let me just look at the WARP table. How about that? It's easier.
Oh no, Mike, is this really
Not
a
good.
thing? I hadn't pulled a graphic, but listen, we'll be prepared.
He was QB6, Adam. Patrick Mahomes was.
So I was actually, not quite the Mahomes of glory days. I mean, it's a good season. Don't get it twisted, but probably warp wise wasn't necessarily crazy. Actually, the one thing, Mike, was quarterbacks in particular as a whole were relative to the field that type of year were nuts.
Dak Prescott was your QB2.
Yes, sir.
Slotting in 8th overall. And I just use a generic league on him. Yep. No, just total.
Okay.
Total WARP.
Okay.
But let's talk about running
healthy.
backs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the running backs. And here's the only thing that I have a problem with. Okay.
Okay.
When we talk about taking running backs at the top.
Spit it to me. Talk to me, man.
Let's have a longevity talk. Just a little bit of a longevity talk. So Christian McCaffrey, right? That one worked out great for you. Your RB2 that season, Ezekiel Elliott. Not in the league.
Well, dude, I mean, listen, you want to talk longevity. That guy got given opportunity and opportunity. I mean, we were going Zeke. I guess he technically still had the abs, but he's showing off the abs at old man age,
RB3? Kenyon Drake.
Dude, that's so funny. Oh man, that got people all type of bent out of shape because that was a one year wonder, right?
Austin Eckler.
Nah, don't besmirch Austin Eckler. He kind of really did his thing for a while too.
Couple years. He had a couple good years.
For sure.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook was at peak powers. He was a guy that was, right around there, was going, first round, second round startup.
Couple guys still hanging around.
What are they looking at? Like, give us a warp number here because, we can kind of compare to what we're looking at now too. I think that's a good thing to think about. Kind
of similar to how the warp graph was for running backs last year. You got a top 5, top 6-ish, and then a big fall off. But those elite guys were all obviously Christian McCaffrey's lapping the field, but your RB2 Zeke was 4.3.
But okay, give me let's talk the top 5 and then the top 10. Or how many are in the 3+ range?
Oh, 3+. You want just running backs?
Yeah, because I bet you that number is pretty high, honestly.
Yeah, 10 running backs in the 3 WARP plus range.
That's significantly different and massively different than what we're looking at right now.
10 of your top 25 WARP scorers on the 2019 season were running backs.
So comparatively this year, Mike, I think there were some good running back seasons this year, but I don't think there was more than 5 in a generic league, right?
Nope. You had a pretty big fall off.
So that I guess, what did Bijan finish in WARP this year? Let's just for the sake of argument.
Yeah, let me open up a new one and run it.
Let's do it, dude. We're gonna have WARP. Listen, we're gonna put this WARP tool to the fucking test. We're gonna have all these tabs open. We're pushing the limits,
Pushing them all. Yeah, I said top 25, so you're looking at, first 2 rounds of startup value, essentially. You had 6 quarterbacks who made that cut, 6 wide receivers who made that cut, and 4 tight ends, actually. Crazy. 4 tight ends.
This year, 4 tight ends
last year. 2019. Sorry, 2019.
I was going to say, there's no fucking chance, right?
All right, so let's compare it. You wanted how many were above 3 this year for running backs? So
Yeah.
we got
Give a healthy number, you know.
ooh,
Am I wrong?
11.
Okay.
11.
All right. So it was actually similar to 2019. How many
Yep.
were above 4 then?
Guys above 4. Man, we had a shit ton.
Also,
All
for
right.
those that are, if you've been
6
using the
running
Warp
backs.
tool, there was an update right this year, so that the Warp is reflective of more, a little more than you may have been used to in past years. So it's 6 at 4. Okay.
6 above 4.
And where did Bijan finish again? Did you give me that?
5.265. So not Christian McCaffrey.
Not Christian McCaffrey, but to be fair, how many guys are going 1,000 with 116 catches
You know who was number 1 in warp?
this year?
Christian
All right,
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. I was gonna say, was it? He wasn't 6 though, was it? Not
Yes,
6
he
again.
was.
Was he? Damn.
Yes, he
I thought he
was.
was like high fives. All right,
Yes,
high
he was.
fives are going to Christian McCaffrey because, well, that's a different conversation which we can get into. But I guess, Mike, here's the question: you talk about longevity. Bijan this year, and we got Tyler Algier, one of the key trade cuts, trending assets at the moment, which is that's hello, wow. Is there an opening for Bijan to go crazy, go nuclear touch-wise? And do you think that there's even more upside than we saw this year?
I definitely
think is probably
so.
the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think his here's the rub. Here's the real tough rub, right?
Not
because
Corey, you listening? Here's the rub. Let's do it. Come
Here's
on,
the rub.
talk to me.
while I don't think that his ranking as maybe the number 1 overall asset in all of Dynasty on Keep Trade Cut is absurd because, like you mentioned, he's coming off 2 20-point plus per game years, right? Last year being very good as well. Tyler Algier is out of town. Maybe we get a little bit more stable quarterback play in town now with what they're doing. There's an opportunity for a hell of a lot more touches and for him to have a nuclear type season, like a 24, 25, 26 point per game type season.
One of the rare ones, right? And
one,
that coupled with the fact that we've seen him the last couple of years get better, look better, and he's still only 24. He's in the peak of his powers, right?
yeah, he's in the peak of his powers. How long is he going to be in the peak of his powers? Can he have a Christian McCaffrey level like run to him because of his receiving work? That could be very, very reasonable. I think the rub is what's tough about it is when you think about, and this is the difference between ranking somebody on Keep Trade Cut and then actually having to draft them in a startup or pay for them in an auction.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Like, that's why I asked, would you do it in a startup and versus, the ranking Keep Trade Cuts, obviously not necessarily indicative of the same thing, but
I don't have the stones to be able to do it, to pay the price in an auction for it, or to actually put your nuts on the table in a startup and draft him over.
I thought for sure you would like to put your nuts on the table,
Not over some of these quarterbacks and not over some of these wide receivers. I don't think I would be able to do it, right? Because of the questions I have, why he could be a Christian McCaffrey and go on this kind of run too. He could also very easily fall into the other guys I listed, Zeke Elliott, Kenyon Drake,
sure.
Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook.
All right, hold on, because I was going to pivot into this is, for a lot of people for a while, one of the best running back prospects we've seen in a while. Kenyon Drake, while had a nice little season, let's not, let's not go there quite yet.
Zeke was one of the better running back prospects we'd seen in a while.
And I like Zeke, especially in the younger years, but I would always get a lot of pushback, and frankly, the pushback was not necessarily wrong. He didn't catch the ball out of the backfield as much as some of those other. That was a crazy kind of time frame, right, for those running backs. All that to say, Mike, I think Bijan has the tool set, and to you, do you think he's a prospect kind of like more in that Saquon ilk where, shit, man, he might just be getting ready to take off for a handful of years here?
It could be. It could be.
I'm asking the question. At the moment, I'm just, letting you go. Talk to me. Talk nice to me.
I don't have the cojones to make that bet. I'm gonna check it out.
That's fair.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna say
listen.
no.
I'm just asking.
I'm gonna say no. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Fair enough.
I can't do it. What about you? Put the shoe on the other foot. Now the defense is turned for line of questioning here. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, look, so I'm.
Skip Bayless in this. It's my turn.
You told me it was my turn. All right. Let's have some combos here, right? So, I think Mike, part of it is, oh wow, Bijan didn't want to give Mike his. Wow, that's fucked up.
I didn't believe in him, so he's like, "Fuck you, dude."
That was the closest thing I could do to skip there, where I tried to just take the kid, put him right in front of you so you couldn't see Mike's face anymore. I'll be honest with you, I like Mike's face, so we're gonna move him. But here's, I guess, my question or my conversation with it. Right, I think you're making a bet and it's risky, and I think that's okay in a way if you kind of know what you're doing and know the risk is high. I think. Let me ask you, Mike, because Christian McCaffrey had another crazy season. I will not. These guys at age, it's unreal. They're like robots. McCaffrey, we were just talking on the phone earlier today. Derrick Henry, since the start of our content days, which is an eternity ago, right? My first trade show, rant. Why? I'm saying why Christian Derrick Henry over Cam Akers, which RIP to the take and RIP to Derrick Henry supposedly going to hit the age cliff 5-6 years ago. He's going on 33. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, the difference with him, I think, is Mike, you've seen the injuries pile up. It's 100% injuries that you get worried about. The touches are getting insane. Bijan, to me, relative to the both young guys and the more veteran, proven production guys, he's going to cost you because of his long-term staying power and what people think. Mike, I think there's a scenario, though, that he ends up being the running back one in production and also has a difference making to the field. If Christian McCaffrey gets hurt again, Mike, tell me what you think of the potential for him to just kind of really take over the field by a good bit. I think that also couples with, Mike, if you're telling me right now that people are buying back into Bijan, the running back one overall, which is asset one overall, I think there's some pivotability, which is something that basically for me was my biggest reason why I wouldn't want to take the plunge at the running back position, right? It's like, dude, I'm stuck. If this guy gets hurt or doesn't perform, Mike, I'm cooked. That is what's kind of giving me a little bit more. I wouldn't do it on an average build. It wouldn't be something I'm looking to do off the rip just because. So I probably won't have him at one overall. But I really don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to go ahead and say, hey, listen, I'm making a difference right away. I'm going for a positional edge. And I'm going to have to backfill my draft accordingly. I think you can make the case for it. I wouldn't do it at one, but I think, Mike, I'm right there, maybe 3, 4, frankly. There's a couple receivers, probably still 2 quarterbacks, so maybe 4 or 5. But I think at that point, you're telling me, listen, let me get the best edge I can at one position, and I'll try to backfill the rest of my positions best I can. I think Bijan has, to be honest with you, Mike, I think he has 3 to 4 really good seasons at his prime. And at that point, when I'm seeing the ranking here, I think the community's telling me, man, you could get out of this player at running back for a haul still.
Let me go devil's advocate on my own take here.
Talk to me.
Also,
on your own take, okay.
Yeah, also could some of this be that we saw with Warp last year, and if you just look at keep trade cut ranks for the running back position, also maybe a case for Bijan being the number one overall asset or number one player is while there is a Gibbs, a Genty, a Love, doesn't it really feel like once you get down to like Etienne and Hampton and Taylor and like every running back starts to get a hell of a lot more question marks where you're like,
for sure,
like I like them and they can give me production, but like you said, they also feel like we're one bad year or one bad injury away from like nobody really gives a shit. Like we have to actually fight people to like still believe in Derrick Henry even though he just keeps shitting RB1 seasons to you.
That's kind of the point. I think you bringing up a good point that I was going to get to here is that to me is the difference, right? Listen, I know this is a luxury pick and this is a crazy high-end asset, so I don't know how long people want to hear us talk about it, but I think it's good to talk about nuance in the startups coming up, Mike, and just how you want a team build, because when I'm looking at it, right, you can basically make a lot of bets later on to try to hold serve with production and probably even beat Bijan, frankly. Now, I don't know that I would bet on that one for one. But the difference is, what do we know? The value insulation and what people think of that player and what their overall like staying power is, it's a totally different asset, frankly. It's basically not a running back. There's basically the rest of the running back crew, and then there's Bijan. There's these elite guys. And so, Mike, I just think about it this way, right? Normally, one of my biggest hesitations would be if I take a running back that early, I've kind of committed myself to one, being not flexible, right, in the startup, where now I have to feel like I'm contending. But Mike, let's say I took Bijan in round 1, and it didn't break my way year 1. You telling me, outside of obviously injury, right, which is frankly any player. Now, running backs do, you could say, have a little bit more injury risk, but like outside of the injury, you telling me someone's not paying the farm for Bijan Robinson? That's the thing, is that right there to me is the difference, where he's not necessarily all that different from these players. And I think, Mike, the quarterback downshift in the market, in the landscape, what people think, whether that's right or wrong, is what really kind of opens this whole thing up and changes it. Because it basically used to be, all right, I need to have a quarterback because someone will give me 3-4 firsts for Josh Allen. And I'm not saying they still won't, but maybe they won't. I mean, the quarterback market is just totally different. So I think someone has to be the guy. I think if you're going to make a case for running back, there's only 2 for me. And I do like the 2 young bucks coming up, but I need to see a lot from them before I'm putting them into this type of ilk for sure.
Yeah, I think what highlights it for me is, right, Bijan and Gibbs, they're at the top. It's like they feel like they're almost in their own tier. And everybody else, there's some sort of question mark. And when I look down the list of running backs, it's very hard for me to like look at a keep trade cut list right here and go, wow, what an incredible value at his ranking. Like, oh man, people are really sleeping on this guy. Like there's maybe 1 or 2 that pop up where I'm like, that feels too low. Like I feel like if I could get him much later than I'd have to spend on the Bijan pick, I'd be all right. But the rest of them, I'm like, they're all kind of appropriately ranked, like right in their range. When I look at the wide receiver and quarterbacks, like those would be the only alternatives to taking Bijan at the top of a draft or paying that in an auction or a trade or whatever.
Yeah.
I look down and I'm like, oh man, Jalen Hurts at 10, that's fucking abysmal. Like, what a value. Dak at 17, you guys are sleeping. You guys are crazy. Stroud at 18, like, oh, I'll gladly do that. And then if I want to get super gross and crusty, I'm like, Matt Stafford got at least 1 more year in him. I could do this.
For those Kyler's Mike loves getting super gross and crusty.
Kyler, if he gets the starting job, if it's his job all season in that offense with Jefferson and Hockenson and Addison, and they draft something upcoming that makes you excited at the running game, holy shit, what a value. Wide receiver is the same exact story. While Chase and Smith and Puka and Neighbors and like Amon-Ra, Jefferson, like even when I get down to Jefferson, I'm like, dude's at 6. Like that feels like a fuck yeah. Sign me up for some Jefferson.
How about CD? It's what is he at 7 or 8? I mean, he's almost outside the top 20.
But you keep going down the wide receiver list, and you're like, well, I can get on board with a Puka at 11, or I can get on board with Rome Odunze at 15. Lad McConkey at 17.
Talk to him. Rome,
one of these rookies, Marvin Harrison, all the way down at 20. We talked about Jalen Waddle last week, where I said,
Did you see the comment?
Yes.
It's happening, by the way. Jalen Waddle or Marv, it's happening.
It's happening. T. Higgins, Smitty, like the list goes on. Rashee Rice, if you still believe in him and you don't think the off-field stuff's going to bother him at all, like there's so many more options at quarterback and wide receiver. I think I can get on board where I'm like, these guys feel like value. So maybe the whole draft sequencing or auction sequencing, if you're doing something like that, or if you already have an existing one, maybe the play really is to invest in a Bijan or a Gibbs. And if Bijan's your man, invest in him full-heartedly, because your other alternatives and options as you get down don't feel as great of values to backfill at the running back position as your options.
Walmart, great value.
Yeah, your options at quarterback and wide receiver feels like, man, I almost got infinite bang for the buck around here. Like, I just got to find the teams that are sleeping on the guys that I like. But my list is very big. My shopping targets is very big. Where the running backs, like I said, for me at least, when I look at it, I go, there's a couple, but what if those teams are like, nah, go fuck yourself. I ain't trading this guy. Like, I think he's a value too. Like, I'm not letting him go for market price. You got to pay over it. So maybe the play really is to invest in Bijan as a top tier asset.
I think the other thing, Mike, is I really believe when team building in a startup, especially, to me, one of the things I'm looking to do or trying to do, I don't want to just go out of my way to do something foolish and make a play like this, but I'm always looking to be different than the rest of the teams, right? And if it doesn't go my way, it doesn't go my way, but I'm looking to build differently, because if the best teams are what? They're different. They end up winning. They have a better, warp. They have a different build, right? So for me, when I'm looking at it, I don't have a problem being different than the pack. going with Bijan. I don't think it's something like I'm itching to do, but Mike, I think you have to kind of account for the fact that all right, now we've made a luxury pick at the running back position, and you need to kind of be, I think, a little bit more smart now in your next future rounds. You're not maybe going to be able to be as risky as you maybe were able to if you felt like you were secure with quarterbacks or whatever the case may be. But Corey, listen, is water wet? I mean, do I like absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely. I don't want to derail the show and go down Rome talk because I've had 25-minute videos on Rome Odunze. It didn't come to fruition the full amount this year, but I put a lot on the injury. I'm not trying to act like, I don't want to make excuses for Rome because he didn't finish very well at all. But we got to see bits and parts of it that were really good early on. DJ Moore's gone. I think they're going to continue to evolve, and the connection with Caleb's going to go up. Year 3, I think, is something that, is big for him, but it's polarizing. Let's get into something here, Mike, I wanted to talk with you about. So Bijan obviously at the top. But right now, that aside, the craziness of running backs being back, or at least one or two of them, one of the things that's really interesting, I always try to look at every year, speaking of different, and I try to see the nuances, right? We could talk process, we could talk, standard stuff, and we do that quite often. For us, standard stuff is, boys being boys. But Mike, when I'm looking at this landscape, right, the draft picks, at least at the moment, outside of the top 4 or 5, really are not drumming up any interest. Frankly, it's almost the opposite. People are just almost set in their ways, or feet in the mud. They're stuck in the mud. No one's getting excited for these later picks yet, at least, right? And normally about this time, we're really starting to pivot into rookie fever, getting the drum roll, the hype. It's not really there. And we're coming off of 2 weeks now where I'm not going to say it was the most chaotic we've ever seen from free agency and trades, but I thought there was a lot of movement and a lot of sneaky, player values up and down the board based on what took place. I think the combination of that, Mike, is really leading me to seeing how the market is, for the first time that I can remember, at least. Even in 2022, it wasn't this way, where, you basically have this time where it's March, April, May, and a lot of June. Everybody just wants to trade for picks and younger assets, right? And I think the picks part of that being out of the equation, it's almost like people are, when they're trading for players, not necessarily having to be all that young either. We're talking about guys like Jalen Waddle, David Montgomery. We're talking about like veterans, Mike, up 50, 60, 70, 80 spots on keep trade cuts. David Montgomery, I get it. I do like the landing spot. But you're telling me David Montgomery is one of the most risen assets in keep trade cut right now in the middle of fucking what's supposed to be rookie hype season. I mean, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Like, you're talking Malik Willis, Kenneth Walker, Kyler Murray. Like, these are all assets last year during the season. There's no way people are going to be going crazy for him. And I think that's the one thing I wanted to talk about is right now, well, I guess what's your overall thoughts about that? How are you seeing it in your leagues? And, is there, a way that you're approaching it differently this year because of all this?
So the problem I have is a lot of the leagues I play in are South Harmon leagues, and I'm probably the driver of like, listen, this class ain't that bad. All right, there's some good stuff to it. It isn't the worst class we've ever seen. Like, we don't need to go all crazy for 27. Like let's just pump the brakes.
Someone might be out there ready to
lurking in the shadows. I think he is. So because I'm the one out here preaching it, when I come trying to buy on the low, like, hey, is this, keep trade cut ranks, are these correct? Is average ADP, on Dynasty Data Lab, is this correct on like where these picks are being valued? Not always the case. Now, some of that could just be like, hey, I know it's Mike and he's willing to, probably pay a little more than the average person for this pick. Let me try to milk him. So I don't really get to see the rewards of it, right? Like, the better question is the casual player, is the listener who tunes into us every single week, are you guys seeing this actually in action? Are you seeing opportunities maybe to buy into the 26 class? Because I don't get to see it. I don't get to see any of those rewards. I can talk all I want. Adam doesn't want to talk. He puts himself on mute. He says, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, sorry. Go fuck myself. I was going to say, Mike, we do. We hear it through the grapevines, though. For me, it's been almost vicariously, if you will, right? Because, Mike, I'm telling you, right now, I think the biggest thing is, frankly, discipline in a lot of the leagues that you're talking about. And some of my leagues, Mike, are active at the moment. But I'll be honest, I'm getting a little freeze out action. It's okay. I can wait it out. But I'm not going to go begging, knocking on people's door like, hey, David Montgomery's up 80 spots. Come on, guys. Let's make a move. Like it's not happening for me. Not that it can't at some point, but I'm just not getting a lot of traction at that so far. Mike, I will tell you right now, though, when I get DMs, when I get people asking, what about this? What about that? I'm telling you, 8 or 9 times out of 10. Let me rephrase. They're asking about the wrong assets, buddy. And what I mean by that is the assets that are already damn near peaked and going up, or players that maybe had a dip in value. A guy like a Jalen Waddle. Listen, man, I get it. I would honestly wouldn't mind having a couple extra Jalen Waddle shares, but the horse is left, man. Like it's out of the. It's gone. Like at this point, just think about this, right? You talk about Jalen Waddle. This is a guy that is now 27, right? Going into a new situation. I expect good things. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you not only better expect good things. Like we need good things now, Mike. We're talking. He's in the range. The range of Marv, right? We're talking Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate. He's past BTJ already. We're talking Roma Dunze. We'll get to another asset here, but basically, I get it. We are excited for players to go to new landing spots and obviously for fantasy goodness to come their way. But I just think that a lot of times when you're trying to go buy players that are in this time of year where no one's scoring points, becoming the more talked about and desired assets, it's a dangerous game, man. You're trying to basically get people to trade you an asset that's very exciting and enticing when there's not much else to talk about. And I think that is, for me, one of those things where, man, you got to be careful, and you got to be, I think, patient and diligent about not. It only takes one bad trade or one. I just want to go get my player right now and totally break your process. And you're like, dude, what did I do? I just basically bought Jalen Waddle for what was the wide receiver 1, and a lot of times the overall number 1 pick just a couple years ago in a great class. So it's tough right now, man. I think in general, trying to go buy specific assets is dangerous right now.
It is. It is. It feels like the old adage. Well, listen, we can. I'll put the bullshit aside. This isn't the greatest class of rookies we've ever seen. Yeah, right.
It's not even close. Okay, it's not even close. All right. Let's be real.
But it feels like a lot of people are already jumping ship before we even get to peak season, or what has been peak season of rookie value. Okay, sure. And the allure of draft picks has always been the fact they don't get suspended and they don't get injured. Okay,
typically they can, but they typically don't. Right?
The pick can't get injured.
The pick itself, correct? Yes.
The pick doesn't get suspended. The pick doesn't get injured. The pick doesn't have off the field shit pop up. Like it doesn't. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every asset that you're gonna buy that's an actual player in Dynasty, like once there's a name attached to it, it carries inherent risk, no matter who it is, because situations pop up all the time. And it feels like we're almost in lunacy land where people are like, yep, let me invest in this. Like you said, you brought up a David Montgomery. You brought up an Isaiah Likely. You brought up a lot of these players where it's like, we can be excited maybe about the situation change, about the landing spot change, but it still has an inherent risk. They still have an entire summer to get through without anything off the field, without, knock on wood, an injury that pops up where you're like, oh, shit, like that's not good. That's not good. I guess I'll see you in 2027. Mm-hmm. And they're willing to trade away a legitimate asset with no inherent risk attached to it, to go get that already, which feels absolutely crazy to me. It feels crazy to me. Now, I wish I got to not have to live vicariously through other people who get this shit done and able to capitalize on a little more, but it's just not. Isn't when you're in the content game and you get any kind of following and you play with people who know you, that shit's out the window, right? You got to trade and run your teams differently because everybody knows what the fuck you're gonna do.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, yeah,
I would say for
I
a
do
lot
think
of
you have to
people,
make
though,
different moves than you're normally used to. That's fair.
I would say for a lot of people, though, like opportunity is staring you in the face right now. Opportunity is staring you in the face, and while it may feel a little bit risky,
How so? Let's talk about that specifically. Yeah.
if the Dynasty community as a whole is really devaluing this class to that level, you just got to be the one who has even an iota of strength within you. The cojones to go
But Mike, I'm weak.
Like I get it. The noise is out there, but history has told me.
It's not just out there. It's very loud. We have a specific person. I'm not sure if he's real or not, but he's at a moment's notice coming to screen.
History has told me time and time again, this is a smart move. This is the plus money move. like let's not go against it now.
All right, so Mike, we got right here. Okay, this is let's talk about this from the standpoint. So I got the keep trade cut ticker up, Mike. I'm working on a couple things. Hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm gonna be out next week, unfortunately, but the lab, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it up on my own here. Isaiah Likely. Now, this is one of those where there's a few guys that kind of meet this same song and dance, right? So the Isaiah Likely one, Mike, is the hopium that really has never left. Now, differently than Jalen Waddle, Mike, we've seen Waddle actually have some great moments and some actually good overall finishes throughout his career, although he's definitely been, overall disappointing, let's say. Like I was talking, Isaiah Likely has had, I don't even think he's put together a full game, frankly. Maybe that's a little harsh, but it's been a game, and it's probably been touchdown dependent and stuff. I think we've seen moments, but now we're basically back. Okay, so he's left Baltimore. Obviously, they've retained. Andrews paid him, and Harbaugh's going to get Likely. So, Mike, naturally, Likely now is past Dalton Kincaid because that's kind of the same ilk of the Dalton Kincaid, but we've seen it longer. Mike, let me ask you right now, if you have Isaiah Likely, or if someone's interested, what pick are you talking in rookie 2026 land? Do you think would you need, or would you be willing to get off of your Isaiah Likely right now, given the hype?
Would I need?
Yeah, I know you probably don't have. Okay, let's just play a game of pretend. All right. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
let's say you just have
sell?
a couple of shares, right, of Likely out there. So,
okay.
what 2026 pick? Let's just use lineup, tight end premium 1.75, just for the case in point. Someone's asking about sniffing for your Likely, and you know what the market's doing, but you're also maybe not trying to get full market value. What are you needing to say, all right, Likely, I can move on from this share?
Any first would be a godsend. Any first.
I mean,
give a fuck where it is. Give me 1 in 28. I don't give a shit.
Really? You don't care where it is?
I'd be fucking happy. This class, if we were just sticking to there, like we got to pay league dues if we trade 27s or 28s. It's not going to happen, Mike. But I'll trade you something in this class. I got the 203. He's yours.
203 in 2026?
Have at him, bud. Yep.
Damn. I'm. What's interesting is not necessarily, Mike, that
have at him.
I don't necessarily disagree. I think what's interesting for me is that you're going to have people that are absolutely floored by that and not loving to hear that, and there's no way, right? Now, let's just go ahead and go over to the DTHE-LAB.southharmonff.com. If you just do /trades, yes, this is the lab, right? So if you go Isaiah Likely, Mike, let's just do a little search. We'll let the lab load up. I'm curious, Mike, what you think he's been fetching the last couple weeks since this news has taken place.
Man, it's interesting. I thought he'd be higher, especially when I pull up Dynasty Data Lab and see like startup ADP. Like I was like, man,
you did? Oh, it's startup ADP. Okay, so I'm gonna say, can I just read you the first trade?
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely and Brock Purdy, Mike, get you Amon-Ra St. Brown in the lineup league.
Okay.
Start 14, so you got to have a lot of starters. I'd say likely is probably making starting lineups and start 14. We hope. I mean, at this price, for fuck's sake, geesh.
You better.
But that is wild to me. Okay, how about this now? Would you down to your Sam Laporta to Algier and Likely?
No, I think I'd rather keep Sammy ball game, and I love down tier,
and that's the point I think of the tight end overall is just not where we thought. How about Likely or Matthew Stafford, Mike, in a 14-team start 12 Superflex?
Stafford.
14 team, Mike.
Stafford.
Mike, it's honestly now I get it. You know, every league's different, okay, but Likely. Here you go. This is the closest thing I've got to you. The 2026 round 2. It looks like it's a 201 or 2. A little hard to tell at the moment because there's not picks assigned yet. Some of these ones that are really crazy. Okay, here's a 201 been assigned. So you're probably looking at an early second, late first. Now, Mike, let me ask you. So let's talk that through. What is it about that makes sense for you right now? Are you a little worried? Let me just ask you for people wanting to know this. Like, we're not seeing that bump in value, especially for those picks. Yep. Do you have to kind of at this point? I think the fear is you get your feet to the fire. You gotta stick and pick. I think people like to have the ability to trade out, and I'm wondering for you how that plays in.
Yeah. So that is factored in the fact that if I would have
here's a 110 by the way. So you're seeing late first 109. You're seeing some, definitely there.
But that's still a range where for me, if I got feet to the fire and it wasn't as liquid as I thought or wasn't as valuable as I thought when we get to the draft and people don't catch the rookie fever. Listen, we talked about how bad second round picks are, but that really only applies to like 204, 205 and later, Adam, in the second round where they historically not great. All right. Your odds of getting a good player with the 208 is about the same as you getting a good player with the 306 in most classes. It's the same shit. It's the same shit you're picking from. But those early seconds, it doesn't matter really how bad the class is. Like I think I listed out 2022's draft class. Not great. But those early seconds, some pretty goddamn good players were to be had in them. Like I'm completely fine with those odds because I think at worst,
I think 2022 was a narrative though. We're finding out pretty much now. We went back and we did this on one of the shows where you went through and named the ADP and the narrative was stinky and it's really shitty around it. But I mean, like the foregone conclusion is different. Now this one's interesting because this is what I think gets in people's minds and really kind of gets them. Oh no, Mike, because this trade got made surprisingly very recently. So this is probably right after the news. Matthew Golden straight up for Likely because I think that's what people fear, right? You get to that range, you take a prospect because it's first round draft capital, maybe someone you didn't love but has talent, and now you're like, well, fuck me, Mike. Here we are. Matthew Golden's on this face planners are us, right? Trajectory. What do you? And honestly, Matthew Golden, I think, Mike, would be one of the rare scenarios, and let's just acknowledge that, right? He's rare where you really didn't get a trade out window. Like you never got a bump in value. You just would have had to take a little bit of a loss, and most people didn't want to do that. Now they're stuck with face planners are us.
Yeah, we can both agree. All right, face planners are never a good thing, and they historically don't work out at a very high clip. But Adam, you know what?
Not a good process, but they do hit sometimes. Sure.
You know what else? You know what else never really works out at a very high rate for people?
Isaiah
Low RAS score tight ends who haven't done shit in the NFL.
Isaiah Likely. Well, I was going to say tight ends. I was going to go tight ends off the rip, but I'm for the sake
low
of
RAS score tight ends who I mean we're on year 3 and we still haven't.
You're not even.
We're heading into
You're not even giving these people
a
chance. You're bringing out RAS, and I don't think people are ready to hear that, or even some people may not even realize his RAS score.
I'm not saying low RAS tight ends never do anything, right? But this is the old shout out to Scott Connor on this one. This is the old adage.
Yep.
Right. The thing about low RAS tight ends that's so appealing is you can sell them while people they're creaming over them. Like, this guy's different. Yeah. And the odds say they're not. The odds say they're outliers if they do.
But okay, talk to that. Go ahead. Yep.
When they do, and they prove it time and time again, when they Jason Witten your ass to death, you can go buy them for not much more than you would have if you bought them at peak.
Well, that I think is one of the things you got to be careful of with a low RAS score tight end. And I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole, but basically, Mike, believe it or not, even if the community, you think they're really high on a likely, the low RAS score tight ends typically, Mike, they just don't get to that elite tier and stay there, right? Those dominant athletes typically are the ones that have stayed there. Mike, here's I guess my thing at the moment. I do think when I'm looking at these trades, like, dude, straight up, Terry McLaurin, like, I think the trades that are going down at this moment, like if you're trading for likely, there's only one scenario. And it's basically one of those extreme rarities where it's like, you know what, honestly, that's not a terrible tier up. Like I would tier up even in most leagues, right? To go to give me fucking Sammy Ballgame. Like if that's the rare scenario that exists and gets, put my way, that's probably when and only when I would be acquiring likely. Maybe here, AJ Barner, sure, I might be willing to do that if I'm looking at a, I have Barner shares and I don't have likely kind of, but I'm not even really all that thrilled about it. It's fine, I just don't think there's many trades going down here where I'm getting like, oh man, you got to get me Isaiah Likely. I think one of the things that tends to happen at tight end especially is we get excited for these young tight ends, right? Whether it's you've seen him play well in moments, you're waiting for him to kind of explode.
Yep.
Like at tight end especially for now a Likely in particular. It's one thing when you're talking like a Sadiq, right? You're talking a young rookie tight end. Even though the value may be high, those guys have that flammability where people get crazy if they have, a few good weeks. Look at Harold Fannin Jr., right? But Likely's had already a lot of moments of floated dynasty value because of age. So he doesn't have this like flammability realistically in his range of outcomes. So you're taking on a lot of risk, I think, here. And frankly, for Likely's going to have to be a top 10 producer at the tight end position, Mike, and probably even inside of that, like 7, 6, depending on your league, warp relevant and probably towards difference maker. I have a lot of questions and don't love it. I think there's a lot of other ways that you could, approach a tight end position personally.
Let me just clarify too. It's year 5 that we're heading in for Isaiah. Like,
well,
year
Mike,
5.
Now hold on. Don't you
5.
can't you don't say that. You don't say that. Okay, people have been waiting for this for a long time. This is
low RAS, 5th year breakout is what we're anticipating.
There are like people,
how many?
They're quiet right now. They're angry. Okay, we're getting them really fired up.
Now,
right
just on the Matthew Golden thing though, like, you're betting on a year 5 breakout from a low RAS prospect tight end who couldn't overcome Mark Andrews, who for the last 3 years people have been like, he's dead, right? He's tailing off. He's too injured. Can't do it no more. He still hasn't done it. Okay.
Sure.
Now he goes to the Giants, and we're like, ooh, situation changed. They brought him in. They gave him a contract. It's going to happen. The more realistic outcome is he does some crazy fucking timeshare with Theo Johnson, and they're both useless, and no one cares. Versus Matthew Golden, while I will give you face planter wide receivers are outliers. They are massive outliers, right?
Sure.
They're massive outliers in their own right. But Likely's got like 4 or 5 things going against him. I give you one for Matthew Golden. He's a face planter. Okay, he's a face planter. Like in the realm of bad bets, I got 1 negative for Matthew Golden. I got like 7 for Isaiah Likely. Just give me the 1. Give me the 1 negative. They both suck. Okay, they both at the end of the day probably don't matter.
Man,
but the odds say Matthew Golden having a rebound and all of like, see, I told you he wasn't that bad, is more likely than Isaiah Likely.
Oh, here we go. Big pun guy.
Coming at the
Look
tight
at
end.
this guy. Look at them all put together now. So before I don't want to go down. We're getting dangerous on this tight end thing. Let's take a break for a second. All right, we can come back. Mike, let's talk about one that's a little less egregious or polarizing or going nuclear with dynasty value. But let's talk Travis Etienne. And I'm curious for you right now. Thoughts on a player like this, right? So at the moment, he is up spots. He's past, I think, any names that were debatably needed to go away. I mean, the contract speaks for itself. Very big contract. I think it's actually top of the league as far as guaranteed money at the moment, which is holy shit. Don't even get me started with that. But like, here's the issue, or one of the things to think about with Travis Etienne, right? The landing spot or the team is it doesn't make you really excited necessarily, right? Because of the Saints. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it doesn't get you all excited. I think that's part of why the value is not like Kenneth Walker territory. But like right now, you're looking at where he's at, right? He's right there with Barkley, McCaffrey, we just talked about, Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, and then you get to the young, guys that whether they've done anything or not, Trayvon Henderson, they're, significantly valuable. So for Travis Etienne, Mike, what are your thoughts here as far as, dabbling in the market of Travis Etienne? Is he a stay away? Is he I'm not looking to go buy? Are you selling if you have Travis Etienne? Or are you actually more on the opposite of this?
I think he's probably appropriately priced kind of where he is right now. I mean, you're looking at anywhere between RB, you want to say on the plus side, like let's say you said Saquon, so RB 16 to, I'll put it at like 22. And I think that's kind of the range he needs to be in, that back end RB2 territory. I think it's appropriate for him. While we look at the Saints and we go, oh, yeah, it's not the sexiest, right?
Sure.
I'm
not trying to poo-poo it. I think that's just part of the market. Yeah.
I definitely can say this. The Saints run at the end of the season with what they did with that offense with Kellen Moore and, what they found in Tyler Shuck and Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson, plus whatever they do in this draft, plus Etienne, Achane's contract. We got to call him Etienne now or whatever the fuck he wants to add. Do you, boo? Whatever he wants to be called now.
Yeah.
I would say with that, like he feels like a very safe one where we're not going to get some round 2 or round 3 running back going to the Saints where we're like, fuck, what's this do to him? Like it really feels like he's kind of in that safe. It's his backfield. It's his to do with what he wants. There was signs at the end of the season with the Saints coming up. Kellen Moore has a history of being very good with his running backs, right? Saquon Barkley season. Thank you. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be 2,000 yards, but he feels like
Mike,
he's very
you're getting ready to
appropriately
lose
priced.
people here. We're getting a little peak. Don't do it.
I mean, everything that's around him, Josh Jacobs, we're looking at 28. Like, how many more years do we have of good Josh Jacobs production? We kind of saw the tail off last year. Kyron Williams, kind of the same thing, ceding work to Blake Corum. Like, does that split become even more gross? Like, Etienne, obviously, between those two guys, feels like the safest one. Javonte Williams, we have one good year out of his career, literally. I mean, we saw moments in his rookie year, then we had terrible knee injury, and Javonte was shit, and even his good year, his rookie year, Scott Connor punched holes in it about him being inefficient and terrible. And like, is Javonte actually good? We don't really know. Yes, he's back with Dallas. That's got to be a good thing. But like, if I got to put bets down, like, fuck, give me Travis Etienne. Give me Travis Etienne in this offense, like with that contract.
No.
Like, give me Travis Etienne.
Of all the things, Mike, I was okay with a lot of things you said. I was gonna debate you, but not Etienne. I'm not ready, okay? I'm not doing it.
Etienne, baby.
I'm not
Let's
doing
go.
it.
Okay, I'll do it for him. He asked for it. I'll give it to him. I think he's appropriately priced. I don't think his market's egregious. Unless we start to get into this, Adam, and this will be the only thing where I'll be like, the theme of the show, if you're telling me in real trades, he's going for like rookie picks in this class where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Why? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this?
Okay, because I think there's a couple things, frankly, for me where look, it's actually interesting. I wanted to bring – I wasn't hung up on Etienne per se, but I think he kind of fits the Bijan conversation, which we talked about maybe longer than I thought we would, which is not a problem. But when we talk about Etienne, right, you think about Bijan, like part of the reason I'm okay making that crazy plunge early, like, all right, I'm betting on, obviously, the production. I'm betting on this freak. But more so than anything, I'm betting on, even if things go shitty, I think I have a long leash in the market, right? And, Mike, I think Travis Etienne is – I'm not going to disagree with the appropriately valued. I think – honestly, I think he kind of goes exactly where – it's like he didn't go past where you're starting to get a little, bullish per se in the regular market. But, like, if you didn't put him here, I mean, if you didn't put him ahead of Javonte and Scatabo and Harvey, I mean, what are we doing, right? So I think it kind of just makes sense where he's at. I think, to me, there's obviously the scenario where, listen, his production works out and he's a bell cow. And we've seen, although it's been up and down, we've seen when he's at his best, he's been very good and very relevant. My biggest issue or my concern is I don't like the range and what he's actually overall valued as a 26-year-old running back that has had injuries and has had, I think, shown me reasons to not be all that in on, betting on him for a full calendar season in a new situation, even though the money's great. Mike, if something happens to Etienne or if he doesn't perform, the biggest reason I struggle, that I see value installation of negligible.
Nothing.
Like it can get bad in a hurry, right? And so for me, especially this time of year, these are the assets, Mike, that I'm almost a little bit more aggressive on, cutting shares if I have to, right? Now, there's always exceptions. Running back heavy warp, let's say, these crazy leagues, you can go kick rocks, okay? I'm not giving you Travis Etienne for some discount. But in standard PPR, where it's not crazy juiced, I'm almost willing to cash out here. Especially, it's got to be in the first range, right? If it's in that first range, Mike, I'm willing to cash out and kind of, take my value, make it younger, make it a little more flexible, and find a way to bet on finding a way to get production that's kind of in the range of Etienne later on. I think that's kind of my point with Etienne. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't be looking at Etienne and being a top 12, warp value at the running back position. Absolutely could. I'm not trying to say he's not that type of talent. I think there's a lot more risk than there is reward, because if he's that, Mike, how much higher is he going? This is the biggest takeaway, I think, with some of these conversations, to ask yourself. If Etienne has a good season in New Orleans, let's say he's, let's not get crazy. Let's just say he's like top 12-ish. What does he go to in the market right now in production season?
Right. Right. If he's just borderline RB1.
Yeah, RB1.
Back-end RB1.
He's playing well. He's had some good weeks. He's doing what we're expecting out of him, right? And maybe even a little more.
Yeah, you're not getting a big rise out of it, because that's what he did last year.
And right? There you go. And this is, Mike.
And he can actually probably have an RB1 season and then fall in value the following year.
And that happens to a lot of these running backs, and I fully agree. Yes, agreed. Right.
Yeah. I'll put the little bit of the cart before the horse. Looking at Dynasty Data Lab with picks, Adam, he's going right in the range of like 106.
Well, to be fair, I think in any other year we're like, okay, stop it. Now, Mike, I'm not shitting you. I've had the deals that come my way. They're honestly they're sparing. I don't even get offers that much. When I do, it's at an odd time, and I look and it's an odd offer. So if you want to send me an Etienne, any of my Etiennes out there, unless it's crazy warp, Mike, 106 sold, gone. Speaking of the cash, I'll do it again. I mean, that deal you can have. I get it. The class is sketchy after that. Like I'd be in it probably 108, 109 in this class, even as bad as it is.
Bijan, Etienne.
I'll tell you what, Jay.
Gotcha.
I love this kid because he has the ability to take the show any direction at any time, And
he does.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think you talk about like overall with him. I think that's probably where the issue is. Like, you're seeing him keep trade cut wise. Like, Zay Flowers isn't crazy. Brian Thomas isn't crazy. Devontae Smith isn't crazy. Like, if we're talking about that, like, you give me those pivots all fucking day, easily. Mm-hmm. But
here you go, Mike.
The only devil's advocate case I'll make for him.
Talk to me.
Is like on ADP wise,
crazy, bro. 104 Rashad White.
On ADP wise, you have like Chase Brown in the 4th. You have Bucky Irving at the early part of the 5th, and then you get Travis Etienne going.
There's a lot of things that I'm willing to do. I don't think I can do it yet. I'm a long way.
Going 3 or 4 rounds later, as far as startups are concerned, and it's like I'd rather just let me get the
104 and Rashad White. I'm counting Rashad White as
104 and Rashad.
Rashad White's at any running back on a 53 negative, okay? Even if you say that, it's not
because
close,
Jeremiah
right?
Love's going to be a commander, like, fuck it.
Well, one of the issues too is a lot of times it's hard to get trades that aren't like 8 assets each way on a player like this. But so I mean, it's all over the place though, Mike. So you give me Etienne for Ollie Gordon to 207. I mean, Mike, you got to be shitting me, right? That's not serious.
I'd do backflips to get Travis on my 2. Yeah, that's fucking
to get any deal done, let alone that one. Let's tickle your fancy. All right, 106, Monangai, Jacobs, and Kraft. Okay, Kraft, Jacobs, Monangai, and 106.
Okay,
Etienne and Likely on the other.
I'm out here like telling people.
Well, it's the double down effect, right? That's why I had to put that one out there.
Yeah.
Yo, Mike, Jalen Waddle in a second. I'm taking the second as a free second. I think they're kind of similarly valued, and I think Waddle's a little overvalued. I think they probably they settle in similar. I would just take the free second there.
We talked last week about how I'd be willing to sell Jalen Waddle, but Jalen Waddle versus Etienne straight up, I'm taking Waddle. I'm taking the wide receiver.
And here I think here's a move that's not necessarily a lock, okay? And I think at this point, if you have a lot of concerns and you don't want to invest in a guy like Marv, I get it. But this is where I'm a little more willing to take risks like this. Like Etienne's getting to a point where it's getting, there's not a lot of room to grow for Marv right now. But hey, listen, if Michael Wilson ends up being the real deal, and Marv is the best prospect that I've seen or in that realm in the last several years, and he just doesn't cut it in the NFL, fuck it. I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm able.
Easily.
I will lose. So, but those are the things. Marv is coming. He's going into year 3, and people can get. One of the things that's really weird I've seen, Mike, in a lot of my leagues, when people don't get a lot of trade offers, there's not a lot of activity. There's not a lot of interest. You kind of start floating a player like Marv out there in trades, and no one's biting. It's like a psychological thing. Like people are like, oh fuck, I think I got to get rid of Marv because people don't want him.
I'll give it to you right now, just off of startup ADP. He's 703, Adam. Here's the list of guys going after him.
That's not a bad range at all. I don't think
it's not a terrible range, but here's the guys going after him that I'd easily take over Travis: C.J. Stroud, Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle, the 106. Split on this one, but I'm probably going to take Derrick Henry over Travis. I'm probably taking Derrick Henry over Travis. Kyler Murray, possibly the 107. Wow. DJ Moore, I would take over him. People may not like that one.
Dude, I was just about to pull up Pitts, and I'm going to because I'm ready for it. But, Mike, I just got to tell you, I didn't think you were going to go there with DJ Moore, but we'll pull him up next. Let's do this.
DJ Moore.
Yeah, let's talk about this. That's Bijan. But I'm looking for Kyle Pitts. Okay, so sorry. I fucked it up. You got
Are you sure that was the right Bijan too, right? The right B Robinson? Since we got 2 of them in Atlanta now? Because that's going to be fun. You remember those days where David Moore and DJ Moore were both on the Panthers and people would send out trade offers? And I don't know how many times I seen shit have to get reversed because they were like, I fucking thought it was the other one. Dude,
what was funny too, David Moore was basically buried, and then all of a sudden he had some games and got a little more floated up, and people are trying to get cute. I get it.
Just said D Moore on Sleeper, and people are like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, what a great deal!" Until they find out it's David.
Well, before we get to DJ Moore and David Moore and that whole debacle, let's talk about a debacle of value and name cachet and of all the peaks and values. Listen, I think there's sometimes in this type of environment, no news isn't good news, actually, even though it should be, or at least the market doesn't treat it that way, if that makes sense, right? Like you can stay on the same team, Bashaw Tootin, right? But the opportunity sees in front of him, boom, runway, and the value goes crazy. For Pitts, that on the surface isn't there. I think there's a lot of things beneath the surface that are shocking to me that he's where he's at, because Mike, he's basically neutral. He at the moment is, I believe, just inside the top 100. So we're talking, I think, asset 87. On that range of a late first, early second type of a territory, right? In a just market value. I mean, obviously every league's different, and who has them? If Fizz has them, you ain't getting them. But Mike, for me, when I'm looking at it, So he's asset 86, right? You got Bryce Young, Kyle Pitts. Speaking of crazy, Alec Pierce. You got Antoine Pierce, Daniel Jones, Malik Willis, Oronde Gadsden, your boy DJ Moore, RJ Harvey, right? Like, I get it. Pitts has definitely given you years, and for me, every one of the years outside of his rookie year, like I'm as bad as it gets. I've invested in him at the peak of his. I've invested in him as a fucking first round startup pick in multiple leagues. Been burned. I can sit here and tell you I've learned my lesson with tight ends, even the Pitts of the world. But you can't go get it back. What I can tell you, Mike, is how am I always? The problem is with him. It just has always worked out. It's just like teetering right into the range where it's like, fuck, I'm going to have to get more Kyle Pitts, aren't I? It doesn't matter what happens. Dude, you're talking about a guy that went for 50. Recency bias right now is a big thing, right? What just took place in the trade or where the market went, what you saw last part of the year. Kyle Pitts is one of the very few players last year to give you a 50 burger. On primetime, everybody fucking saw it. I don't care if you hate fantasy football, you saw it. I don't understand in a position where it's feast or famine. Most people are not feast. You got the opportunity for feast. We already know the downsides are there. We already know there's target competition, what the quarterback play is going to be. This guy is got a quarterback issue, right? But we'll see what can happen there. But you got a coach that comes in, Stefanski, who's notoriously using the tight ends. They gave him obviously they did the Mike, help me out here. They didn't give him the contract yet. They're working on it, but they gave him the
franchise tag.
Thank you, franchise tag. If I'm going to bet on a tight end that's not, I don't want to pay up for the elite ones. But Mike, this is one of the reasons why I'll have more Kyle Pitts. He's in a range where it's not going to kill you if it doesn't pan out. And I think it's just surprising to me that he's not moved up. You're telling me he's in the realm of Isaiah Likely. Dude, I've watched Pitts do things Likely can never do. He just can't do it. If everything works out in the favor of Kyle Pitts and everything works out in the favor of Isaiah Likely, you can't be serious and even act as though it's close. It's not going to be close. Kyle Pitts is in the realm of the best tight end prospect we've ever seen. Hybrid-ish, right? But it just, I don't frankly get it. Now, I'm not telling you this is guaranteed to work out. I've had my Pitts unicorn I've took down, okay? It's burned me enough. But at this price, I'm just frankly shocked.
I think this is a giant win for me. Okay, this is a huge win for me. And let's start with what you're saying. I too am also shocked at Kyle Pitts' dynasty market currently, especially with the way he ended the season. I get it. There's going to be some concerns about he only did that with Drake London, being injured and being out, and then that's when he exploded and went nuclear. But I can piss those concerns away with what you said to lead. Stefanski comes in, who's notorious for 12 personnel using multiple tight ends and always having a blocking tight end like in line and then utilizing his David Njoku in the slot or as a move tight end and getting him open and then heavily targeting the fuck out of him. Because
he's very creative in getting these type of guys in space.
Once upon a time, we wrote off David Njoku in the very same way that we did Kyle Pitts, right?
But the
David
crazy
Njoku,
part of the reason
athletic.
we did that, can we at least admit the difference there too, Mike? They paid Austin Hooper, which was outrageous. I hated every bit of it. Okay, but his snap share went to it's la la land. He went to like not playing snaps. He was tight end 48 for a season, Mike, under Stefanski,
right?
And they'd paid Hooper, so it was like, all right, well, he just hates Njoku. Even there, he ended up forcing his way onto the field because he's a better athlete and better player. And if you're a guy like Stefanski who likes to run 12 personnel, there's only so many tight ends out there. And
do you also know who they signed in free agency, by the way?
Yeah, it was it's driving me crazy because I know the name.
Austin Hooper.
Well, I just said that. Well, it was Hooper and there was another guy though. There was two tight ends. They were playing snaps over Pitts. Sorry.
I mean the Falcons.
Oh, you mean sorry.
2026.
I'm out here trying to also get my head wrapped around trying to talk about Alec Pierce here because there's a comment about it. Yes, you're right. Austin Hooper. Mike, you know Kevin Stefanski has a weak spot for this guy. I mean, you want to talk about guys getting excited for other guys? Oh, buddy. Austin Hooper.
But anyways, like I credit this as a win for me because everybody was so in on Kyle Pitts from draft capital.
If everybody only had a nickel every time they heard that, let's keep going. I love this. Let's talk. Come on,
well,
Pitts.
I mean, everybody was like, and I made a great deal with Adam, historic deal, with Kyle Pitts one night when he was drunk.
I see what's going on. I'm drinking. He's trying to take advantage of me. Austin Hooper and all right, go ahead.
And I let everybody else have their Kyle Pitts moments, right? And they all had their Kyle Pitts moments. And here we are, and finally, like, I am the most in I've ever been on Kyle Pitts, and I can get him for dirt cheap, and it's like perfect time, man. I'm ready to be in on Kyle Pitts. I'm ready to put Kyle Pitts to the fucking moon. Fizz has been trying to get Kyle Pitts off of me for like the last 3 years in the league, and I've told him to fuck off.
Are you surprised? Listen, he's relentless, and I give him credit. Relentless.
It ain't happening now, Fizz. Okay, it ain't happening now. I'm the most in on Kyle Pitts I've ever been.
No, I think you can have him. Just Mike's gonna give you the old sphincter action. I've been there.
It's gonna cost you quite a bit more than what the market values him at right now. 7th round in a startup pick. I mean, you talked about his keep trade cut ranking. It's like, what are we? It's like tight end 8. Like he's barely ahead of Kenyon Sadiq, which I get people are gonna go fucking crazy for after his combine performance. They're gonna go nuts for.
Yeah, we can get into that in a minute. But I think, Mike, what's interesting to me, I guess, is that here's where I'm at, right? To me, the guy's 25. He's actually younger than likely. We were just talking about this. But I think, weirdly, we're going to need to see Pitts probably put on a otherworldly performance because he became tight end 3 or whatever it was in Warp, tight end 2 maybe, off of the back of a 50-point game. That's how crazy it is. And speaking of the tight end position, how lackluster it can be. But Mike, if he was to put on, let's say, not 50-point games, but if he is legitimately, consistently in that tight end 1-2 range, we're going to get back. You have no choice at that point. But I think the reason I bring this up is it's interesting because for me, Pitts was always a candidate of when I would sell him, right, or when I would feel like, all right, I just have to get rid of him. He doesn't fit my build. I'm trying to win. It's not working out. It was always in the back of my mind, like, fuck, man. You know it's going to come. You know there's going to be a day when Pitts is back at that elite tier. And I think this, to me, is the signal of that day is no longer a guarantee and probably doesn't happen unless he really goes and becomes, production-wise, him. That's crazy to me. I didn't think we would be here. I always assumed he would just get back to likely. I mean, he doesn't even need to be likely because he's done more than likely, right? He would get to the point where it's like, all right, the hype will outweigh his production. That's hard for me to fathom because this guy is as talented as it gets. I get it. You could be frustrated with him. You could be as angry as you want to, and I'm not saying you're wrong for that, but this is as talented as you're going to get at the tight end position. He's a fucking unicorn.
He is. And honestly, if we're talking tight end ranks, Adam, he should be a hell of a lot closer to tight end 3. He should be the 8.
Well, where do you have him? Let me ask you, because that's a good question. I don't have him at 3, but I have him at 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him.
And
at
I'm
3.
bullish. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say
go ahead and do
put
it. Just rip it. Come on, talk to us.
McBride, head and shoulders, tight end 1, own tier. Don't want
Brock.
Talk to a
I got
fucking
Brock Bowers in his own tier at tight end 2, by the way, too, for me.
There you go. Yeah, that's the exact way I'd rank him, to be honest. And I put Pitts at 3.
Okay, now there's some people that are gonna,
They're gonna be mad.
Well, and just talk to briefly, and we'll move on from Pitts here. We'll get to your boy DJ Moore.
Loveland, I love as a prospect, but we're also just talking about a handful of games that he did. Like, listen, I got to see it. I got to see the usage. We still don't know how it breaks down with Rome.
Like, you didn't see it?
We got to see a fully healthy Rome. The Luther Burden hype is absurd, like where it's going. So, like, I want to see how this all shakes out. I don't have room for him. Tyler Warren made me look like an asshole at the beginning of the season, but everything I told you about, like, listen, guy needs shit designed for him. You saw, especially when the quarterback play started to wane a little bit and defenses started taking him away. It was like, see, I don't know if he's a real tight end yet. It's going to take time for him. And the Harold Fannin thing, I get it. People are like, fucking no David Njoku. Let's go. Let's move him all the way up. Pause. Okay. Like, pause. I'm good. I'm good on that one. I'm going to put fucking Kyle Pitts at 3. I'm going to put him at 3, and I'm going to put him comfortably at 3. I get the argument maybe for like a Colson Loveland or a Tyler Warren, just not for me. Just not
Sure.
for me, Adam. I'm going to take Pitts. And the great thing is I don't have to pay tight end 3 prices to get him. Like I could sit back in a startup or in an auction and pay that 6th, 7th round value if I really want him, even in a 0.75 tight end premium, and be like, score.
Well, let's get into Pierce real quick here. Someone put in here, and actually it's still hit up D-Walk. Can someone explain to me the Alec Pierce thing? Well,
D-Walk, can you explain to me the
I'll
Pierce?
I'll be honest
fucking
with
know.
you. I could try, and I'm definitely not the person to do it. But I will say this is definitely, in my opinion, warranted or not, the craziest thing that I think I can recall in how it relates to fantasy, especially Dynasty. Mike, you're talking – so going in this 2024 class, right, they draft Adonai, who all the talent in the world, we know it's already flamed out, okay? We can put that aside. But they invested in him at the point, which was like, damn, like that's not the greatest thing for Alec Pierce, who at that time was really inflated snap share wise. I mean, you're talking a guy that didn't come off the field, and you're like, oh shit, they have Pittman, they have Downs in the slot, and now you just drafted Mitchell. And now, Mike, right? So 2024 navigates through that. Adonai is obviously a bust. You're going into this last year, 25. The guy put up a very good season, a surprisingly eye-opening season. Okay, I don't want to take anything from him. But Mike, you put in the range of outcomes, right? Him beating out Adonai, like I would have probably put it 50-50, and probably I was definitely on Adonai. I would have bet on him. Okay, so but that's not crazy. Now though, you're telling me, Mike, they're going to end up giving him a absolute bag, trading away the alpha established in Michael Pittman. Holy Santa Claus shit. Now, the one thing, at least for Pittman, is they got back, I believe, a second. And, it's like if you're going to pay a receiver, you want to get some draft capital back. I'm not in favor of the picking of the ladder, so to speak. But, man, I mean, but what do you do? I mean, he's paid otherworldly. He had a very good season. They move on from Pittman. You got really weird, questionable quarterback situation coming in. Like, what do you do here?
They did not get a second, not even close.
Was
Just
it really
by the
not?
way?
Okay.
No,
Fair.
no. They traded him for fucking peanuts.
Was it that? Well, I know because part of it was he wanted a deal, and I think the Steelers gave him a contract, right?
They did. Steelers gave him a contract.
All right. Yep. Well, at least then I can give my dad an apology because I thought they paid a pick and. So what was the pick compensation?
They traded Michael Pittman in a 7th and got back a 6th. Adam.
Ooh,
so
they got rid of
pennies.
Him. Damn, I was significantly off on that, and for that I apologize.
Pennies on the dollar.
But right, I mean, here's the thing: the reason I think is obviously written on. Damn, I didn't realize they gave him a 3-year, $60 million contract in Pittsburgh, and basically they weren't gonna. After paying Pierce, you didn't have the money to pay him, right?
And just for reference too, the 7th round pick was $230. The 6th round they got back was $214. 16 picks.
It was semantics, okay? It was complete semantics. It was here. You pay him, we aren't going to pay him, right?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's the whole hype. And while Michael Pittman or Alec Pierce, Antoine Pierce, let's call him.
He has to be Antoine Pierce at this point, right? He's done the unthinkable.
Back end wide receiver 2 last year. I mean, way back end. And, kind of judging whether it's point per game or warp.
He did have some warp spike ability.
He did. Now, the only problem with him is nobody was really in on him, so a lot of that warp was not captured unless it was in best ball leagues.
Well, but here's the thing, right? If you did roster construct, I don't think this is common, okay? But I think if you're like a shithead, you roster constructed the right way, and you just, hey, listen, I'm going to fucking throw this guy into my lineup, my flex spot, my wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3. Mm-hmm. If you were diligent, again, this is kind of the whole point of this trading talk, right? If you can just be not prisoner of the moment and not get upset because he gave you a 0 or a low game last week, paid off. I saw some people, Mike, especially in the leagues I'm in, actually fucking Alec Pierce legitimately helped them win games they shouldn't have won, you'd think, right?
You can see an increase in target volume, which is going to be nice, and it's going to help his boom bust ability, Adam, but there's still a lot of concerns around the quarterback position and how healthy Daniel Jones is going to be. to
sure.
run this offense, right? Serious injury. We don't really know. Can the Colts repeat their success that they had, especially early in the season? Because late season was dog shit. Even the last couple games of healthy Daniel Jones, where you're like, what the fuck is this? What is going on here? Now he's the number one option instead of being,
But here's my question:
undervalued.
I just don't know. Do you think? Obviously, Pittman being gone changes a lot. I really don't believe teams are going to give him this like travel coverage and trade him that way, even with the contract. I really don't see it, buddy.
I don't think it's going to be travel coverage, right? Like you're not taking a.
There's no shot, I don't think, for that.
You're not taking a Pat Surtain and like having him follow Antoine,
right? But I'm saying though that because here's the thing: the reason I say that, Mike, is because you may not believe me, but I promise you, although I was way off on the Pittman thing, I've studied this one at length, Mike. He is in the elite of elite. Like that's not even bullshit as far as guaranteed money and contract for this player. I mean, it is, dude. This is hard to believe that they really made that type of an investment to him. Frankly, I mean, just honestly, right? They gave him over $100 million, Mike. 60 guaranteed at signing. So that's not guaranteed money. That means he got 60 million cap money when he signed the check, y'all. Mike, 87 guaranteed. Like literally, if everything went poorly next year, 87 million is dead.
That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a hell of an investment.
And that's in 3 years. Okay, so like, I just want to be clear. It wasn't like this contract. A lot of times you can see these inflated balloon contracts where it sounds like it's a lot, but the guarantees are really low. Guarantees are high on this, dude. Like this is no bullshit.
All right, I'm gonna list off all the wide receivers going after him in ADP right now, and you tell me to stop.
Just how about you go a little further down we'll save some time, right, and then start it there.
Well, I'll go quick. DJ Moore.
I'm gonna take DJ Moore. I think that one at least is reasonable to discuss.
Michael Wilson.
Fuck. It depends on the day, honestly, because I have my worries about both. I'd take Addison.
Christian Watson.
I'll take Antoine Pierce. I've never been a Watson guy, frankly.
Wandale.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not as crazy. I think I could take Pierce there. It's not like I have to have Wandale. I could see it either way.
Ricky
Same
P.
tier. Give me fucking out. Give me Antoine Pierce. The real white boy, please stand up.
DK.
Dude, I'm going to be honest. This is crazy. I think I don't hate the Pierce thing. I probably would take DK in a vacuum because I feel like the name cachet. But, Mike, the Pittman going to Pittsburgh to me, I hate it for DK, frankly. I really don't like it for him.
Adams.
Fucking give me Tay.
Yeah.
I'll die for a year, for 6 months,
Terry.
for 2 months.
Terry.
Give me Scary. Give me F1.
Parker Washington.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Travis Hunter.
Mike, I'm gonna
don't you fucking do it.
I'm gonna tip my cap. I know. I get it. I hear you. I know where you're at. Listen, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you over here. You know.
Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll take Pierce in this range just because. Like, here's the thing about it, right? I think he's still gonna have boom bust games. I think he's gonna have some big games still. I really do. Like, this contract is going to have some people in a tizzy where they're like, oh my gosh, he got paid and he had a big game. I don't think it's going to be happening for me very often, but I do think he's going to in a range where he probably nets you a lot more than a lot of the guys are about to mention to me on a typical day. So
this is my only problem. Like, there's plenty of younger names or like allure where you're not wrong, right? Like Antoine versus them. I get you. Like, you want to take Antoine. My problem is, like, it's going to be the Devontae Adams. It's going to be the Terry McLaurins. It's going to be Mike Evans at the 10-11. Like,
what about Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin's going to be another one I'd rather
wide receiver
have.
Fucking 70s, I'm sure, right now.
Jaden Reed or Antoine.
Give me Antoine.
But isn't it close to like the same shit? Like, fuck. Like, who fuck cares?
Yeah, but it's riding the wave. It's riding the vibe, man. Antoine Pierce.
Riding the vibe. Okay.
I think market wise at the moment.
How about another
I'm always
guy
going to tier break, Mike. I'm going to always tier break to market, and I think market right now is way more friendly than him than it should be, or at least.
How about another guy who got a deal?
Okay.
Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, give me Pierce.
Antoine.
All right. Antoine. Will the real Antoine please stand up? Mike, let's just quickly, we'll get out of the Antoine game for a moment. You've been bullish on DJ Moore, or at least talking through it. So multiple weeks in a row. Have at it, buddy. Go ahead and get your nut off. Talk to us.
What's not to like, right?
Well, I mean, look, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we'll just start. One of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. Now he goes to get to play with, right? No real competition. No real competition to be the alpha. All right. Steps in almost day one to be the alpha. And the one thing that everybody's been like clamoring for, God damn, the Bills need a wide receiver. The Bills need an alpha wide receiver. And they get gifted one on a platter. Now, he had to do a little bit of work of not really giving a fuck in Chicago, even in a playoff game. Just being like, fuck. Yeah. Cancun on 3. Let's get the fuck out of here. That is a little bit of a concern, but you're talking for the next couple years, like, oh my God, thank you, right? You get with Josh Allen. You get to be the alpha. There's nobody on that team for a pass-catching weapon that scares you at all. Not Keon Coleman, not Khalil Shakir.
I was going to say,
fucking Dalton Kincaid.
I don't scares you. That's maybe strong, but Mike, people are still in on Shakir. There's the quiet, very quiet fan base. I'm just saying, Dalton Kincaid. You already know that's loud. That ain't quiet at all. You know that volume is high.
Just listen.
I'm just saying the fan base, the volume. Okay.
Healthy
I'm not saying I agree
Moore,
with it.
Healthy DJ Moore with the Bills. I mean, book it. Book it for 150 fucking targets plus.
Well,
book it.
Okay. Here. Let me ask you this. Okay. Let's talk about this from the standpoint of. Let's go back to.
I don't want to get fucking crazy, but if DJ Moore isn't like fucking a wide receiver 1 this year, I might eat a shoe live on air.
You?
Yeah, I think I might.
Dude, all these shoes I'm giving out, basically. I mean, it's not
going to be a Jordan.
What a great way to get to the wheel. No, listen. I think Mike, he doesn't go wide receiver 1. I think all that I've been putting on for South Harmon, you got to eat a part of a Jordan on fucking stream. I think that's fair. I think that's a good thing. I don't want to eat my Jordans. I like my Jordans. I'll give you a pair, like an excess pair. You can have it. Brand new, nothing dirty. Just. Let's see you get some rubber, Speaking of
it's got that new shoe taste.
The rubber meets the road,
Literally.
But I mean DJ Moore, here's my thing, right? He's a player that I think it almost had to be good news. And there was a real opportunity for him to leave Chicago. It got ugly for him, right? In a lot of different ways. Here's the question I have. So we go keep trade cut. Just to give you a list of players in the range, okay? So let me ask you right now, right? You're talking production, I get it. Right now he's at 32, trending very upward. So again, you're talking about players that are 29, over 30. So he meets the list at this moment that kind of talks into this grouping. But he's also old. So let me just ask you right now, when you're looking at DJ Moore, him or Jordan Addison?
DJ Moore.
Okay. Him or J-Mo?
DJ Moore.
AJ Brown.
DJ Moore.
Really? Okay. Hold on. Well, this is just everybody. This is the Eagles, guys. So talk to us about the AJ Brown one too. That one I think at least deserves a combo.
That one would actually be close, but that is me factoring in that he gets traded to the Patriots to be Drake May's number 1 option here in June.
So then you wouldn't have AJ Brown if that was the case?
They would be neck and neck, but I would still prefer DJ Moore.
You wouldn't have AJ Brown over DJ Moore if he was at New England number 1? Wow.
Okay. They're the same fucking age.
I have them in the same tier. I have AJ Brown ahead at the moment for the record.
They're the same age.
I get it.
They're the same age. Both receiving cores aren't that great. I probably prefer Romeo Doubs to Khalil Shakir. How it stands. I definitely prefer.
What about Kincaid?
I prefer Hunter Henry to Dalton Kincaid. But Josh Allen is
Mike. We're having a good time.
Drake May is fantastic, and I will drive the Drake May fan club. But Josh Allen is a much better quarterback, and that passing offense will probably be much better than the Patriots.
Look, I just told you to
higher volume.
Let's keep people here, and we're getting ready to We're getting ready to let them all.
I would take DJ Moore over a hypothetical AJ.
Rashee Rice.
DJ Moore.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to take long and it was going to be consistent, but I don't think people want to hear this. Brian Thomas Jr.
Give me BTJ. Give me BTJ.
Smitty.
Tyson.
Waddle.
Give me Jalen.
Yeah.
Give me Jalen Waddle.
He hated to do it, but he had to. Marv, T. Higgins, Lemon.
All those guys.
Okay. So here's my thing. Let's say even Mike, and you have him obviously a little bit ahead of where some people probably would, right? You have him ahead of AJ Brown, but it's not crazy. I think the reason I did that was, so at the moment, right, you have Zay Flowers. Let me ask you that. I forgot to ask you Zay Flowers.
Zay.
I'm still there as well. So, okay. I knew you would say that, but okay. So we got Addison, J-Mo, AJ Brown, Rashee Rice. Like that's the name. That's the names ahead, right? So here's my point. I would say you're probably as bullish as it gets on DJ Moore at the moment, or up there in the high tier. I'm ecstatic because I had DJ Moore shares, Mike. That like, all right, I'm back in the game. Last year was brutal, man. Last year was brutal with him. You couldn't trade out, and you fucking hated playing him, right? Like there were some games it worked out, but it was rare. So I'm back in the game. But Mike, I just got to be honest. Like with him, it's not that I'm not betting on him having a great season this year, even. But man, he could get hurt. He's getting older. If he's not, let's say, what if he ends up finishing in this range of last year's, very good, but replaceable to the degree of, 6-8 receivers. That's my worry. It's not that DJ Moore's not a good receiver. It's not that I don't think DJ Moore's a great player. I just don't see, Mike, and here's my biggest problem with him again. He's 29, and I just feel like I'm now locked into, you have one option. He's got to do it. Not that he can't, but that's all you have. You're not going to get a better window probably than right now, or roughly, to really get him tradability-wise. So that's where I'm just – it's not that I'm not excited. I'm just not, balls to the wall, if that makes sense. Because he's getting higher in the range. I think he's appropriately valued, maybe a little undervalued, but he's still going up. He's, again, up 36 fucking spots on KTCs. I mean, last year, no fucking chance he's up any spots on KTC, right?
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah, almost none. But couldn't you say that for just about everybody you asked me? Like, who do you prefer, right? Like, if they have not a great year, if they just have a middling of the
players
year,
I was just talking about in the same combo,
don't they all just go in the shitter and no one really cares?
Are you talking like, so here's, I guess, good. It's a good conversation. I'm glad you asked me. So you're talking the players I mentioned to you, like Addison, J-Mo. So AJ Brown, believe it or not, is the same combo because there's name cachet, but honestly, they're both old, and they're the same bet, right? Mm-hmm. Rashee Rice is very different because it's, I mean, fuck, it could go down further even, honestly, but it's what's happening off the field. J-Mo and Addison, I still believe, are these guys that are just right or wrong value insulated a little more. So I don't know that I want to like trade for them 1-for-1, but I wouldn't hate it, honestly, because I think it just gives you a little more leash, and I don't have to make the production bet now, right? I probably am able to trade those guys at some point later on in the year when I need to maybe tighten up my team for points. It's just a flexibility thing. It's optionality.
If like an Addison, for example, if he gave you like 12 points per game, wide receiver 36 on the year,
yikes!
Does anybody really
cover your ears? Fizz, cover your fucking ears.
Well, I mean, but does anybody really give a fuck heading into 2027?
Well, but here's the question: didn't that just happen?
Yes.
And guess what? They fucking care, and they absolutely care. So that's my point. Is Mike? I'm with you. I think if you told me right now, I know my league, my tradability is going to be very little, and I'm building a contender, and I'm just saying, fuck it, go for the gold. Cool. I think I try to, in this time of year, especially when I finally got some value back on him, I wouldn't hate pivots. And that's also probably for me, like I have so many shares of DJ Moore, so I'm not opposed to like, bowing out of a couple. I still want to bet on DJ Moore long term. But
I got you. We never answered Jay's super chat, by the way. You put that fucker in here with the incoming Kubiak in Las Vegas.
It's up, Jay. Okay, here. You know what? for the delay, just uncalled for. By the way, super chats, they get you to the front of the line, except for when I'm here. I'm late and I'm just talking DJ more with Mike. Super chats, with the incoming of Kubiak and LV, how is Bowers behind McBride? Let's talk through this, my guy.
Okay. What about Kubiak? I think he's a great play caller, right? We saw what he did for JSN last year. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl run. Let's just say that, utilizing Kenneth Walker into a massive payday. That was awesome. I think Kubiak is very sharp. But what about like Kubiak's history with the tight end position? Because that's what we're talking about here. Goes like Brock Bowers to the fucking moon over Trey McBride, who is a walking 150 targets at the tight end position. That is my issue, right? Like, that is my issue. While Kubiak is exciting to be in Vegas, way better than Pete Carroll, way better than Chip Kelly for how many ever games they had for him last year. Sure. Before they said this isn't going to work out. All right, stick in college. What about that goes like, listen, Trey McBride's been tight end 2 and tight end 1 these last 2 years, and is a walking 150 targets, makes you go like, I got to have Brock Bowers over him. Like, I have to have. Well, there's nothing. There's nothing about Kubiak that goes like.
When you say it that extreme, like you have to have him over.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I don't even know. Maybe there's people that really, really like Bowers, and I don't. Here's my thing, Mike. I think I get it with Bowers, and I think, let me ask you this. I think Kubiak's a piece of it. My biggest thing with the Raiders still is like, dude, who's there? Who's there for targets, right? I mean. And can I tell you one thing I am excited about, almost more than Kubiak even? Did we get Geno out of here? Come on, buddy. We're not just getting Geno out of here. We're getting Mendoza.
Good Mendoza. Heisman Mendoza.
Mike, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, because here's what I can do, okay? You have to know how – see, the thing about Mike, you have to know how to massage him. You got to know how to milk the cow, okay? People try to do it all wrong. They're rough. You got to tickle them from the part he likes. So the Mendoza thing, buddy, I know how that Mendoza massage goes for you. So I think that's a boost. And I think when I look at it, when Bowers was healthy in his rookie season, how many targets did he get actually?
153.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be honest. I think I haven't seen it on a consistent basis, let's say, because he got hurt last year. But, dude, I think Bowers is going to be a walking 150 target guy with Mendoza there.
Think so?
With how, be honest to me, I think they're going to be trailing a fuck ton still this year. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not a good team. No. It's not a good team.
I mean, they're getting some playmakers, but I mean, Mike, we saw this Atlanta team. How many years they got Bijan, right? Genty, you got Bowers, Pitts. Right? There's a chance where this team's throwing a ton. I think 150 is a walking deal as long as he's healthy again.
The only question mark I have is they almost got it done. Right, they almost got it done where they got another first-round pick in this class, which kind of signaled to me that maybe they were going to get another weapon in the draft.
Sure.
To go along with Mendoza and Bowers. So, like, how does that dynamic work out? Because as it's currently constructed, right, I can't argue with you. Who the fuck else? It's not Jack Besh. It's not fucking Deontay Thornton that they're throwing the football
to. As much as I wish my Jack Besh takes
Trey
a couple
Tucker.
Times. Listen, you bite your tongue. CVCA is proud. Mike, honest to God. Yes. It's here's the thing, right? To me, think about CD and Pickens. Like, even if you told me they got a legit ass weapon, I don't even know that it's a bad thing for fucking Bowers.
I don't know if it would be a bad thing, but like the target volume is going to take a hit.
Sure, but right? Don't we think right now, albeit it's the Raiders and people probably don't take them that serious. Don't we know what they're doing? It's 89. It's 89. It's 89. Like, you help some of the coverage. You alleviate a little bit of it. To me, listen, I think it's a 1A, 1B. I do have McBride in a tier, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bullish on the player. Okay, that's just my take. It's where I'm at. But I think Bowers is absolutely tremendous. I think I'm willing to bet on him, especially, Mike, you tell me, dude, how bad was Geno? I'm just going to ask you that too. Like,
his ass.
We're talking about like multipliers.
He was Sidney
here.
Sweeney.
These are multipliers here, right? You got Geno, Mendoza, Kubiak.
He was a BBL.
Come on. Talk to me, Mike. Give me the truth. I think there's a case for if you're going to bet on these tight ends that you have to have, and you're high tight end premium, or that's the way you want to build, whatever it is. It's those two. And then I'm out for a while, for quite some time.
Understandable.
I still want McBride, and I think I'm with you. Your statement earlier, right? You can't tell me you have to have Bowers over McBride. That to me at this point is crazy, considering what we've seen McBride the last 2 years. But especially because when you consider 2 years ago, it was like, dude, do you realize how unlucky he got at touchdowns? And then you see this year, it pays off. I still got McBride ahead, but Mike, it's not by like leaps and bounds. I think Bowers is a little underrated still, in my opinion, sometimes, where, dude, he, with all those receivers going crazy, Mike, at the tight end position, he was fucking neck and neck with all of them in 24.
Yeah, his rookie year. Yeah, his rookie year.
Yeah.
Now this past year, injury, the Kyle Pitts career arc, right? Like great rookie year.
Don't do this.
PCL injury this past year. Even if you take it away, his total target pace for the year, if you said he played all 17 games, was only 122. Now at the tight end position, 122 is amazing, but compared to a guy who's a walk-in 150 this past year for Trey McBride, 170 targets, different stratosphere, my guy. And this guy's done it consistently. Like, you want the second coming of Travis Kelce?
Mike, how many? Let me ask you a question. How
Trey
many?
McBride staring in your face.
I'll play this game. All right. I was trying to play easy, but he baited me. All right. How many tight ends? Give me the number. North of 150 in their fucking rookie season, in a position that's historically slow to start.
It's fair.
I'm gonna venture. I don't know the number. I'm gonna venture to say he's on a fucking island, buddy. It's never happened.
All I'm saying is I've seen this fucking story before. We just talked about
Stop right there. You've never seen the story before. No one's gone for 150 at the tight end position as a fucking rookie.
I've seen a historic rookie year tight end season, and this is the second coming, and Adam makes a fucking fat head with angel wings, and the guy's a unicorn. He's going to fly.
Fair. The difference is it's definitely in Bowers' favor because I haven't gone on the deep end, right? If I got the Bowers jersey, speaking of which, it's one of the opportunities to get that's a dangerous thing. It's a giveaway potential. Speaking of, we got to get to the wheel. But, if I was a big fan of Bowers, Mike, I think you should stay away. But the fact that I'm not, that might be the best thing he's got going for him. Forget all the other stuff.
There you go, Jay. There's a final determination. As long as Adam does not come on this show with a Brock Bowers jersey, you're fine. You want to rank him at tight end 1, go for it.
And you know what, Mike, can I tell you? I have grown. Okay, I've grown. As a matter of fact, I've grown. This is my size. But I wouldn't do that to him or you, okay? This is one of the things you might be able to get on the wheel, okay? It's tags on. I've never worn it. Listen, we're keeping it clean over here, all right? We're keeping it easy, all right? I've learned that there's no reason for me to be selfish like that. It doesn't do anything but disappoint me and everyone else, Why?
There's still hope.
The agony.
By the way, too, your new ticker. This is the first time, I think, in history that we've seen Marshawn Lloyd's name next to Bijan Robinson.
Dude, well, so, yeah. And how's that go for, any Marshawn Lloyd hope you had? Yikesers, okay? Yikesers. I went 300, Mike. I'll be honest, at 300, when Marshawn Lloyd was the number, I'm like, okay, I'm pulling a graphic for this player, and, like, this is where you got to stop. This is where enough's enough, right? We've proved a point.
All right, listen, it's 2 hours already in this fucker. We got a giveaway to get to, I was gonna say, we have a very
I could
important.
Keep going, but I think I'm also knowing I'm gonna be out next week. I'm feeling bad. Jay's talking about how you guys are gonna be early. Okay, you got me, Jay. All right.
No, he didn't say early. He said on time.
I'm helping him get there.
On time.
Damn it, Jay. Why'd you have to go showing off like that? So go ahead, Mike. What were you? You want to get to the?
No, we got a giveaway, and don't forget, DB's got a starred question up there that he didn't get answered the last time.
Oh, actually, starred multiple stars.
Yeah,
and honestly, he's a 5-star in my heart too. So here, let me go ahead and just let Bowers' graphic not be up because it's not relevant anymore.
Who gives a shit? You're done, Jay. Fuck you, Jay.
Hey, Jay. I won't say that to you. I still love you, okay? My question from last week went on. Damn. Not only are we late here, hey, DB, you're right to call me out, okay?
This fucking guy.
You're right to call me out. I started. I didn't even read it. Wow, that's he's like, hold on a second. This is from last week. You fucking
Wait a
start.
minute.
You wait the whole show. He's probably in bed. Like, fuck you, Adam. I still love you, DB, even if you don't love me. There's nothing you can do about it. But we are running it back this week, straight from an answer for both of you. Oh, yeah, I figured. 2 flag plants each for the 2026 at running back and at wide receiver. No Love, Lemon, Tyson, or Tate, please, and thanks. Okay, I can do that. So, I mean, the flag plants, I'm assuming we're not talking Jeremiah Love because, I mean, listen, it doesn't get no. If you're telling me, I mean, I'm planting my flag, and you can hate me for it, and I'll be selfish on that one. Okay, if it's my fault, it's my fault. But go ahead, Mike. You start us off here, buddy.
Yeah, I don't want to steal the show, and maybe we have some very similar ones going to. But I'm running back. I'll start at running back. My first one's going to be Nick Singleton. We just did Penn State's scouting profile on him.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Singleton, while not elusive, questionable on the vision. Okay, it's not Trent Richardson bad. Okay, it's not Trey Benson level bad for me.
Well,
his vision.
I mean, you're scaring people with these names here, buddy. Right? I mean,
exactly. Those are the biggest red flags on home run speed.
Hold on, I got a skunk here, buddy. I gotta close this window up. Whew.
Oh no! Home run speed, great size. You love his early production at Penn State. I think Nick Singleton will be a pretty damn good back in the NFL. And then my second one, I'm gonna go with Notre Dame running back. Jadarian Price, right?
Okay. You and I are on the same page on Jadarian.
I like Jadarian quite a bit.
Mike, I love him.
Now people are gonna say like, well, you remember Bijan and Roshan? Roshan turned out to be shit. Jadarian completely different. Jadarian, I honestly thought,
stop it. You're better than that,
I honestly thought throughout the season, especially with Jadarian Price, outside of maybe like 5 or 6 NCAA teams, like Division I teams, like relevant teams, Jadarian Price would be the best back on almost every single college football team last year. Like, he was that good. I love his kick return ability. Size is going to be a little bit more of a question mark. Like, he seems a lot bigger when you watch him on film. You're like, this is well put together. Yeah, and then like he comes into the combine and you're like, 200. Okay. Like, I thought he was going to be big. I thought we were like 210, 212. Not really, but
I'm not worried about it, to be honest with you. I would have expected 205, but I mean, it's fine.
I love the kid. I think he's got great vision. The only thing he's definitely lacking is, I mean, he's playing with Jeremiah Love, and then you watch Jeremiah Love run the football, and you're like, holy fuck. That is his biggest knock, is like he's not holy fuck. He's not holy fuck,
well,
but I think he's very solid and good.
Cue the Bijan comparisons, right? Where that's why it's, oh, well, dude, if it's not for Bijan, I mean, this is what Roshan. Now, that's the comparison. I'm not there with it. I'm with you. I agree.
I think if he's RB2 or 3 off the board in the late second, early third round to some NFL team where he's going to get an opportunity, like this be a guy mid-season where like, hey, the Jadarian Price ain't too fucking bad, like not too bad. Like, this is a good RB2 for my team. I kind of like him. So I like Jadarian Price quite a bit. Nick Singleton is going to be a massive love for me. While not quite Saquon as far as the elusiveness and the vision, he's got a lot of Saquon.
I'm pretty upset that we never got to see the combine because,
yes,
I honestly didn't think so. Singleton's not going to be my flag plant, but I still have a hard time believing we're in the world we are today. Like, I remember last year. So, maybe like 15 months ago, right? They're playing that game, speaking of which, versus Notre Dame, right? And you're like, I don't know. I think he's not maybe as good, okay? I get it. He's not as good as fucking Love. But, damn, he's no slouch. Like, he's, to me, the athletic specimen. I'll be honest, Mike. It's not my forte, so I don't try to act like I'm, somebody I'm not. There's just been enough stuff out there, people concerned about his vision, that worries me. So that's my only reason why I'm not putting my flag on him, because my guy – I've been excited for him as a prospect for quite some time. I will say, I'm with you on Jadarian Price. Do you have anything else at the running back position you wanted to get to?
Nope, just those 2 guys. He asked me for 2, I gave him 2. Nick Singleton, Jadarian Price are my guys.
Okay, bet. I'm with you. I do like both of those. I'm gonna say, Mike, for me, as I'm trying to find a graphic, I'll just talk here. I'm buying into the athletic hype. Okay, I'm all in. All right, I'm balls to the wall. There's not much, frankly, out there at the running back position this year. So give me all the Mike Washington Jr. Give me every single piece and part of it. Like, if I miss, I miss. I mean, I will admit I'll probably hurt some people along the way, and people that get Mike Washington shares will blame me, and I'm glad that you can do that. But I think Mike, given what we know, where he's expected to fall in draft capital, it's just one of those guys I'll bet on. Like, maybe it doesn't work out, right? Maybe we go Guarendo on it. I don't know. But, like, this is a guy that if he gets opportunity, I'm putting in my lineup. That's the way it's going to work. Like, say what you will. Say he's bad. I can take the miss, and I don't even care because the upside is worth the risk of a second-round pick in this class. I mean, which is for people, that's like a fourth-round pick in their regular value. So that's where I'm at. I don't know where you're at with Washington Jr. though.
No, he's a better prospect than Isaac Guarendo, in my opinion. Now,
I agree. I was just trying to give a reference point of like crazy athlete but can't do nothing, right?
Yeah. People will comp him a lot to Guarendo. Crazy athlete, but where's the production?
It is hard though. Mike, you talked about Singleton. We would have had that where Singleton, Mike Washington's in that same breath of like you're rare air territory of athletic specimen.
And I like Mike Washington because his athleticism did show up on tape, right? Like he was one of my favorites. Xbox and I did a C2C podcast during the season, and I loved Mike Washington. My biggest complaint about Mike Washington was the fucking fumbles. Like, come on, Mike, hold on to the ball. And he has had some absolutely devastating fumbles. I'm talking like game losers. Like,
no, don't get it twisted. He's not without flaws, and he's had some really bad fumbles, timely, horrible. Right?
Yeah, like it's 3rd and 2, Mike. We're giving you the football. You pick up 2 yards, game's over. And Mike goes, I got you. I'm gonna get you the 2 yards, but then I'm gonna fucking cough this up to the other team and watch him come back and upset us. Fuck.
I'm gonna go. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
But production-wise, like I don't have a lot of concerns. He did way more than Guarendo in his final season. He did it in the SEC, albeit for a losing Arkansas team, which should have been throwing the ball a billion times. Yet Mike Washington's still well over 1,000 fucking yards rushing. When he was at New Mexico State the year before, not bad, 725 yards. Like, I'm not going to fucking knock the guy. He actually produced throughout his college career, just wasn't to the level everybody wanted. And then his final year there at Arkansas, it was like, damn, Mike Washington. And then he comes out and he kills the combine. My biggest concern is fumbles, but for me, with the Bijan Robinson, Ashton Genty thing from last year, like fumbles aren't. Listen, you can learn how to hold on to the fucking football.
We'll save our time because Mike, I've seen enough fumble concerns, and I'm going to go Jordan on this, right? With speaking of the branding, right? Like, Jordan missed a whole lot of shots people forget about. Okay, this kid's gone through a lot of fumbles. Hopefully, he's got out of his system. I'm not guaranteeing that he has, but he knows what it's like to get a little doghouse action. So, a little bit of fucking football. And I mean, listen, it's okay because even if he fumbles it, Mike, I'll take those long runs. You can't. You just can't. They're not normal. What was the other?
He gets day 2 capital. I'm going to be excited about Mike Washington as well. I'll be right there with
you. You brought up Bijan Robinson. I'm going to give you I'm with you with a little asterisk. Early. Day 3.
Early. Okay. Yeah.
Count me in again. Go
ahead. Round 4, pick 3.
Because you know what happens, Mike? Right or wrong, you know what the fucking people do. Go crazy.
Sign them up.
Yep. So,
yep.
What about receiver? Go ahead.
You wanted wide receivers. I got my 2 right off the rip. These are going to be my guys. One maybe obvious. Like I couldn't help but talk about him even when I was scouting his teammate, which DB said I couldn't put up here. Jacoby Lane. I love fucking Jacoby Lane. I thought Jacoby Lane had a fantastic combine. That gauntlet was a fucking chef's kiss thing of perfection for him. He gives me a lot of again, one guy that I've stand for years. A lot of T. Higgins vibes out of Jacoby Lane. And I love that about him. Now, I got to see if
he's been a constant riser for weeks for me now, man.
I got to see if the draft capital matches up, which would be awesome. But if I can get Jacoby Lane anywhere close to a top 50 pick, I would be in heaven. If he ends up being more of a late round 3, round 4, listen, he's going to fall into a bucket of I don't give a shit. But I think the NFL will probably value him more than we anticipate. I love Jacoby Lane's game. The other one that is very interesting, and this sucks because of the late season injury. We didn't get to see him at the combine, and I thought he would have absolutely fucking demolished it, and then we'd get a lot of round 1 buzz out of him. We're still kind of getting it, even though this guy was fucking injured. Chris Bell. I love Chris Bell to fucking death. I love Chris Bell in season. I had no idea heading into 2025 college football season who the fuck Chris Bell was. All right, and shout out to
I'll
my
tell
boy.
You, this graphic was not an easy to come by. I promise. Okay.
Shout out to my boy Felix Sharp for putting me on to the Chris Bell fucking game. Yeah, and then once I started watching Chris Bell, I was like, oh my god. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Let me preface this by saying I am not a Cowboys fan, but if I had to pick my all-time favorite Cowboy, it is always going to be Dez Bryant. And I cannot think of another wide receiver prospect I've ever watched that I go, motherfucker, that's Dez. It's Dez all over again.
Wow.
6'2",
that is okay.
220. I guarantee if this...
I was like, there's no way. Wow. Oh, that's crazy comp. Okay.
I can guarantee you he would have came in at the combine 6'2", 220 plus and would have ran in the 4.4s, if not sub 4.4. Chris Bell is a freak fucking athlete.
He is. I'll give you that.
One of those guys that maybe is not the most polished route runner, has some stuff to learn, but he has traits.
Maybe with an emphasis, because he's got a lot of things I think to work on his game, but you can't teach the athleticism. I'll give you that.
You cannot fucking teach that, and you cannot teach his open field ability. Get the ball in his fucking hands, and it is Dez Bryant 2.0. He is going to stiff arm you. He is going to juke you. He is going to truck you, and he is going to run away from your ass. And I love Chris Bell. So if the medicals are all good and we can get round 2 draft capital for Chris Bell, I'm going to be in absolute fucking heaven taking him in the second round of every rookie draft I can possibly take him in. I love Chris Bell to death. What a stud.
Listen, those are both good names. So I'm going to be honest. I have so many. Part of what I just talked about, let me give you a roundabout. It's going to be hard for me to pick 2 because I have acquired towards the end of the year. I have hardly made any trades this offseason. I've not because I don't want to. It's just been famine for your boy. But I'm going to have a hard time just making 2 because I kind of got 3. But I'll give you 2 because that's what you asked for. Mike, I like both the names you mentioned. I'm more in on Jacoby Lane. Because part of it, can I tell you the truth, Mike? I haven't been saved by the bell. I've been hurt by the bells of the world too many damn times. Okay, he's broken my heart in other ways, shape, forms. I just had to put. Speaking of Marshawn, let me give DB a shout out. I had to fucking put Xavier Legette. I had to go find an image for him and put him way down the fucking board here on this KTC. Okay, but let me say I'm sticking here. I'm sticking. I'm picking. I don't care. I'm flag planting. We're going crazy. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care, if you don't think he's really that good. I do. I think Denzel Boston's a great player. I think there's a lot of concerns to me that are kind of overblown. I'm not going to go Tet McMillan because I don't think he's as good as Tet, but he's too big. He's not quite as athletic enough. There's these concerns, these little. It's floating out there. People don't want to say it aloud, but they do. I think Denzel Boston to me, Mike, he's not the top 3, but to me, he's in his own tier, the next group of tier, right? So I'm very in on Denzel Boston, and I'm gonna get those picks where you're not gonna be able to trade out 107, 108, 109, that range. Give me Denzel Boston every single time. I think he's gonna be a guy that can give you wide receiver 2 production. Maybe not for the full season, but as the season progresses in his rookie season. And that's what I really like to see for a player like that, where you get that rise, spike ability. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very in on Denzel Boston, as well as I think he'll get better as the season goes along and his role gets acclimated more. But
I got a comp for you for him.
Okay.
Jaden Higgins from last year, which I loved.
And I did too. And it's interesting because I think Jaden Higgins went to a situation where it's like, damn, I didn't love it, and he still did okay and still did well. But if he would have went to a situation where you're like, damn, that was a good situation, I think Jaden Higgins could have absolutely smashed.
Yep.
Mike, I got 2. This one's really tough, but I'm gonna go ahead and Omar Cooper Jr. to me is the next.
Son of a bitch.
Was this a flag plan, or you don't like him? Talk to me.
I love Omar Cooper.
This is my flag plan of flag plans. He's my flag plan of flag plans. Mike, you had me nervous when you were talking about this day. I was really tired. I was on the sleepless night, right? And you're like telling me he's 5'9". I'm like, what the fuck is
I don't know where the fuck I got that from.
I'm like, if this guy, no. Mike, Omar Cooper to me, I kind of don't get it, if I'm being honest. Like Denzel Boston, I don't personally see it that way, but I get where people are coming from. I think Omar Cooper Jr. is fucking really, really good. And I think his game is going to give you moments and flashes that just scream Dynasty value riser. Dynasty value riser. So
yes,
in this class where I can get him after Boston, where I can get him late first, early second, that's where you talked about that Isaiah Likely trade, Mike. Give me the Cooper Jr. Give me the Jr. Please say the Jr.
I love Omar Cooper, right? That is a fantastic fucking pick by you. Listen, I wasn't able to give 3, so I gave him my 2 top, but Omar Cooper would be number 3 on my list. I love him. We put on the Mendoza tape, and I just found myself just sitting here.
Dude, you're watching you're watching his tape. That's what happens.
I'm watching his tape, and I get it. The knock on him is year 1-0, right? Like, didn't do shit at Indiana his first year. Production, even in his junior year, not the greatest. Senior year, though, when I watch him, runs routes fantastic. Awesome. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can win on the outside.
Body control.
Check. Body control. Contested catch. And then the thing I absolutely love on him, and we use this way too fucking much. Way too much throughout Dynasty.
Look at how excited he is.
Way too much.
I'm so excited right now.
But you want to talk about after the catch? Get the ball in his fucking hands and
just
tell
put
me
it
you
in his
don't.
Mitts. Dude, Mike.
Tell me you don't see a little bit of Debo or Jamar Chase do a fucking game.
NFL.com comp, and this is I think it's high end, but they comp Debo. And I think that's the part of his game that is a plus that most people don't really consider, right? Like I don't want to give it the Debo comp. Like Debo comp yak is just stupid, right? That's like That's like when you go CD or sorry, not CD, Des Bryant for Chris Bell. Like I like Chris Bell, okay? And that's the thing. That's why it's troublesome for me because I do like Chris Bell. It's like, damn, if Des Bryant wasn't a troublemaker off the field and didn't have concerns, dude's top 10 pick. I like his pedigree, but Omar Cooper to me has he has, I think the best way to put it, Mike, is he has a very well-rounded game. He's very versatile. I'm not going to put him in that next tier. I think he could get there. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets close to that top 15 range. But he has a lot of those traits where it's like he can't. But damn, he can move. He can move in tight spaces. He gets contested catches. He can go up and he can high point the ball. And then, Mike, one of the things. How many players do you think right now would you say, okay, they get the ball in space, their yak is a plus in the NFL?
Ooh, in the NFL. Wow,
well, I mean, just Dynasty, just the ones we care about. I'm telling you right now, as you go through it, the list is going to be short, my friend.
Chase, Puka, Neighbors,
Yep.
Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb,
Yep.
George Pickens.
I think that one's debatable, but I would vouch with you.
Luther Burden.
Okay. For the record, those are all top 15 assets on KTC, but keep going.
They are. Rashi.
Okay. I mean, we all know what the situation is. That's a top 15 asset when not in trouble, right?
A.J. Brown, DJ Moore. End of the list.
Okay, for the record, DJ Moore very scorned at this point, but these are all guys. DJ Moore was wide receiver 1 overall in Dynasty. A.J. Brown, wide receiver 1 overall in Dynasty. Everyone you just mentioned, I think, Mike, outside of Luther Burden.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's a good list to be on.
You're talking, yeah. So I think underrated part of his game, if you can say that. I mean, the class isn't deep, so you say what you want. You can say I cherry-picked them, but to me, those guys are clearly not in the same tier, and I have them closer to the – I frankly have them closer to Lemon and Tyson than I do the rest of the pack, these two guys.
Oh, I could believe that too. And when we put on the Mendoza tape and watching it, right? Like, and the good thing about watching Mendoza is you get to see his wide receivers. I came away thoroughly impressed with Omar Cooper. I did not come away thoroughly impressed with his teammate Elijah Surratt.
Well, here's DB. He likes him too.
I think Surratt can be functional in the NFL, but listen, I get a lot more Elijah Surratt as a Costco or Temu Cortland Sutton than I do anything else.
I don't mind Surratt. I don't have him as high as these guys. I think Surratt, if he goes to a good situation where
could be functional,
a good quarterback placement, ball placement, I think is a big thing for him. Like, to me, if you get a quarterback, like obviously you get a Dak, but Stafford, if he goes to a place where there's a gunslinger and a guy that can put the ball on the money, I don't. I kind of like it. But Mike, if you tell me he goes to a place where, quarterback plays is sketchy, I don't like it for him, frankly.
Like when I give comps,
you could say that. That's kind of, you could say that for any receiver, right? But I think there's a guy like Cooper. You can get him the ball. It doesn't have to be a great quarterback.
When I give comps for guys, I'm also giving like ceiling. Like man, I see a lot of shades of this guy. This could be a ceiling. When you say like Omar Cooper and we go like Deebo Samuel, right? Or discount Jamar Chase. Like that's a great high-end comp for a guy. Like that is a fantastic one. When I watched Elijah Sherratt, I was like, dude, high-end comp for him? Jacoby Myers, if I'm really like just fucking trying to, which Jacoby's not a bad player, but like we're talking different fucking stratospheres as far as like hitting your ceiling, which means like all the shit below your ceiling, not as good as Jacoby Myers, which isn't good at all.
The ceiling is the roof. Well, speaking of Mike here, let's get into this here, all right? So here's what we got to talk about. One, we got another merch. Merch craziness, all right, frankly. And let me go ahead and see if I can get it up. Got a lot of things going on with the screen, but we're good, man. Patreon.com/South Harmon. We do charge a small fee. After all, someone's got to pay for the lap dances for the big guy. Don't make us out to be saints just yet. We do charge $1 a month, but that's basically like cover.
Look at
okay,
this motherfucker, man. The gym's paying off,
dude. You see that? Your dollars are hard at work. Look at that guy. All right.
Yeah, fucking kettlebell's working, boy.
For $1 a month, it keeps the riffraff out. Like Jordan just texted me for the record. He says, a skunk. Listen, it's I closed the window, but I'm sure it's out there. It's not great. All right. You don't want to keep the riffraff out. You don't want to have shout out by Apple Pie. You don't want to have the guy just going, hog wild, nuclear in there, telling you 26 is terrible. Okay, I mean, listen, nothing personal. You can always join for $1. Come yuck it up with us. But that's what you got to do to get into the merch tier. But for that $1, Mike, a month, I've seen people turn that $1. It's like Vegas, but the odds are in your favor. Like you can just do so much with the merch, and not to mention, you get to chat with all the community we have here. Mike, for the merch, I don't have it today, and I'm not going to be here next week. But in 2 weeks, it's almost ready to go. We got an app ready to launch for the merch tier. Give you an idea of what drops are coming, all the different high-end stuff we have. It may be shit, but the one thing we hang our hat on here, is the merch. So, Mike, let's get into the merch. Mike is, speaking of which, he's on the docket today.
Patiently waiting.
He tried to sneak his way in, and I said, "Listen, you gotta show some restraint. Have some dignity. All right." But he's on the docket. If you're with us here at this point, consider just having fun with us, even if you're not on the wheel. So how we're gonna do this here? We have 3 pairs, only 3. That's it. That's all there is. Okay. When they're gone, they're gone. There's only larges. But the eggnog specials, buddy, we got shorts pre-stained with shit right there, okay? 3 pairs. And Mike, how about Lucky shorts, huh? What a good way to play this off.
Let's go.
The Jordan Lucky shorts guaranteed to go to one shithead with their pair of shorts.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. They're not. I can't squeeze these, okay? But I'm not happy. If these were my size, I wouldn't be happy. They're sick.
You know how much ass I'm gonna get when I win this tonight?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. There's 6 or 7 people here. I'm rooting for you, but I'd hate to see this be Kyle Pitts thing, where you get your hopes up and it doesn't work out. So
that's fair.
Speaking of which, let's just go ahead and rip this Band-Aid, huh? What do you think?
Let's go, boy.
Sir, yes, sir. Let's do it.
Bam.
Well, golly. We got a lot going on. I need to get some of this off. It's a little crazy right now. DB, I love you, but I promise I'll bring you back, okay?
Promise.
All right. Mike, here's who's
night. He's sure of it.
Dude, you know what, Peter? You know what? Fuck yeah. Talk your talk, buddy. And because of that, I'm rooting for you. We got El Gancito. We got Bindles, back from a big win. We got Nutted. I decided to just go ahead and take the mick off or just squeeze it,
Oh, man. I
Peter,
appreciate you.
There's Peter right there. A little off center, but I think he's going to hit it. I love his energy. We got Gimme Locks. Give me Locks and Beagles on here is just you got fucking top dogs, honestly.
We got heavy hitters on this.
And we
fucking
got Tito
wheel,
back off a W, so it's hot, it's heavy. Mike, I'm gonna ask you. I always do. Who you picking here, buddy? Plant your flags. Who are your 2 flag plants here? I know you got yourself, so who are the other 2?
All right, the other 2. Well, we're going 3. There's 3 winners.
There's 3 pairs of shorts, 3 winners. Yep.
Fuck yeah! All right, I'm gonna bless somebody tonight. Bindles, congratulations.
Okay.
And you know what? I do like Peter's energy. Peter, I'm feeling it. Right, we're going to hold this right side of the
Peter
wheel right
energy.
here, right here. Right, we're going the same side. All
right.
3. Bang,
All right.
bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Let's go ahead and spin this thing for the first time. Let's see what kind of chaos we can ensue.
Let's go. Come on, boy. Ooh, there's 2 of them. What'd I fucking say?
Oh!
What?
Peter!
What?
Dude,
No!
that just happened. Do you believe in miracles?
This is
Yes!
baby back bullshit.
Wow. Dude, I don't have... I just realized I might need a replay. We might need replay on this wheel. That was...
Oh, no.
Not only was it epic, but Mike was halfway in the fucking bag. He was celebrating that thing. That was cruel.
Nick Young.
That was dirty.
That was Nick Young. I turned around.
Wow. That
That
was filthy. Peter,
Down and out.
dude, Mike,
Damn.
tell me that Peter's energy didn't just absolutely snipe that.
He swayed it. Just
He
right off
absolutely... There was a magnetic force that just took that fucking arrow with him. Congratulations, Peter.
devastated.
You're in... You've won the drawing for the shorts, so $39.99 eggnog special. As if it's like, dairy, we got to get rid of it. It's going to go bad. It's not, though. All right, Peter. Congratulations. You're on the list. Mike, so, wow. Things are going to get tough for you possibly here, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I had it. in the bag. It was down.
Dude,
and
that
out,
was like that half-court shot, speaking of March Madness. You saw that?
Oh,
In
yeah,
and out,
yeah.
buddy. Yeah, tough.
Oh, what a gut punch, too.
Poor bastards, right?
I jumped out of my chair on that shot, too. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, fuck. Man, wow.
Oh, Gansito.
El Gansito. Dude, this arrow is starting to freak me out a little bit. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
it
hell's
is.
going on.
Yeah.
El Gansito, Jay. Can I say, sometimes, though, Mike, we got big energy from Peter. Jay's got 2 super chats in here.
That's fair.
Sometimes there's a God. Sometimes, things go the way they're supposed to. They break
fair.
the way they should, right? All
I'm
right,
saving
buddy.
the best for last. It's
Mike,
coming.
I'm going to be honest with you. All of a sudden, right? We were thinking, here you are, you're in the money. All of a
I don't know
sudden,
how
you're
I
fighting for your
recovered.
fucking life. I mean, what's going on here? We got one more spin. Talk to me. You still feeling good, or where are we at?
I guess.
That is not Peter energy, but we'll see if he can get this thing. All right, come on. Let's see what we got, buddy. All right?
Fucking send it. I don't even know where this arrow's going anymore.
Well, who does?
This fucking arrow's all over the map.
No!
Don't fuck me. Yes!
Spindles. He's like, listen, I think you're going to win. Not so fast. Why are these so close? Speaking of nutted, that's by the nut hair. That's crazy. That's crazy. I will say, at least for Bindles, he won last week, but damn, that's fucked up.
We good.
Especially being, on-air personality, like, that probably has to hurt for Bindles more than it should. All
Sorry,
right.
Bindle.
I don't know. Sometimes I know life ain't fair. When Mike got his world sniped and then somehow still has the fucking luck to get on that going on. What the hell is happening here? All
Good
right?
things happen to good people. All right.
And as much as that's true, we damn sure know the opposite fucking happens too. I'm not gonna say it's you, but well, hey, speaking of which, let's keep the good luck rolling, huh? If you thought that was exciting, wait till we bring out the big boys, huh? We bring out the Lucky Shorts. We bring out the French Blue 12s. We bring out the Bugs Bunny, the Chicago 13s, the Pearl Pro Foams, the Flight Club 4s. Listen, 26 class may suck. People don't want your picks, but I promise you, this is Christmas. Come way early. Anything on here is a W. And Mike, bless my heart, there's nothing bad on here. I mean, the jerseys,
No,
You know?
the only thing I don't want out of this whole wheel,
Is it
right,
Bugs
as a
Bunnies?
winner, is because I already got a pair. But
Well,
I'm
if
sure
you
I
did
could find
that, if you did that,
some kind of friend.
here's what: if you did that, right, we would we'd figure it out. You know, we'd make you whole. That's what, believe it or not, it'd be the least I could do for you.
I'll find a friend. Find a friend.
For some reason, I'm not that worried about it. You know, honestly. So we'll go ahead and in order. All right, Peter, you stole McNuggets' heart, and I think let's see what you can steal from me now. Okay,
Press it,
do
Peter.
it.
Let's go. Here we go.
All right, buddy. This is it.
I'm thinking foam posits for Peter.
Foam for Peter Foams. I like that. Okay.
Peter Foams.
Ooh,
Okay.
French Blue 12s. Love the French Blue 12s. Congratulations, Peter.
Those are clean, dude.
Really clean. You got the mellow 12s, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love my mellow 12s too.
Yeah.
By the way, they go with everything.
French Blue
They go with
12s
everything.
have gotten a lot of good use from me. Mike, anytime, I still call them Indians. You can be mad at me, okay? But Guardians, anytime, the French Blue 12 just crush with anything outfit like that. So definitely in.
Ooh, Peter says he loves them. He's in. He's in.
Peter,
man. Yeah, those
you
are
got
fresh.
good taste, buddy, and congratulations on one hell of a night.
Good job, Peter.
Honestly, this pool in general would be phenomenal, but the way you stole McNuggets' heart, I mean, it was like after the bell almost. I mean, that was crazy, frankly.
I lost a year off my life, I think.
All right, El Gansito or McNutted, who's going to take the lucky shorts?
Fuck you, Ango.
Who wants it more? You know,
Fuck you,
who
Jay.
wants this thing more? And here we
Give him
go.
a jersey. Jay's getting a jersey. Oh, fuck!
Ooh. El Gansito, do those super chats. Absolutely paid off big time. $4.99 times 2, Mike. Could it have happened to a nicer guy? Absolutely not.
Congrats, Jay.
Well, we'll bring
Yeah,
the fucking wheel back out for Mike.
One more time.
All right,
One more time.
Mike, talk to me.
Saying there's a chance.
You're gonna call your shot. Come on.
You know what? I think them 13 charcoals are speaking to me.
13 Chicago's?
Chicago.
Dude, those are
13 Chicago.
those are just dropped. I think 2 weekends ago. Absolutely fucking love them. The 13s have the hologram.
I think they're speaking to me.
Well, I mean they're speaking to everybody.
But listen, there's nothing bad on the board.
There is.
We
But
went
no,
through
I mean you're calling your shot. Okay. Let me just ask you. Let's do a little. Let's do a. Would you rather, or let's go order. You got your pick of the litter. Let's pretend, right? We're gonna spin this thing. But where would you go?
Ooh.
Chicago. We got
Lucky-
1,
Lucky Shorts.
2,
The French Blues.
3. Okay.
Flight Club 4.
Yep. 4s.
Nihu with the foam posits.
5. Yep.
Jersey then, because I already got the Bucks. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, we just basically made Mike do something that it's like, hey,
But
you got
we
your
also
Christmas
talked about-
list. It's like these are all in my top 5. But yeah, what do you got?
What your boy's now in a large for size for
Well,
sure.
yeah.
So yeah, this would be the first jersey I ever had being a large too, which would be kind of fun to show
You know
off.
what
So
I
that'd
just
be a special one.
realized? Well, I don't. Let's see what you get.
Be
First.
kinda
Let's not-
special.
let's not. All right. Let's.
Kind of
Now
special.
Mike's switching it up. He wants the jersey. All right, let's do it.
See what happens.
I see what's going on.
Jay out here trolling with super chats now.
What
Come
the
on.
hell?
Hey, it's a jersey.
I was waiting for
Look
it
at
to
that.
move. All right, dude. How about dead center? The first time something dead center hit, I
Right
just
on the
realized
nuts.
too. Mike, I mean, you were so high on Brock Bowers. I mean, listen, large, right? I mean, I got others, but I mean, look at this Brock Bowers, buddy. Now, I don't know. We don't have to get this whole 150 targets in order and everything. But right there for you. Option certainly in the realm. All of these except for the Trevion are stitched limited, by the way.
Ooh,
JT's
fire.
This one is
What?
the old Vapor Limited, which is like a couple little details that they got rid of. Travion Henderson, I know how much you love him. I'm not, but here, listen. If I really want to tickle the kid, Jaden Daniels,
Yeah.
some maroon,
It's gonna be tough to beat.
like Mecca. Now this one isn't stitched, but a Mecca creamsicle.
Adam, what else you
Wait,
got?
But wait,
Okay.
I got one that
Jesus.
I almost forgot about, dude. I'm not gonna
Keeps
lie.
going.
Malik Neighbors, LSU.
Winner in the clubhouse, Adam.
I forgot I had this, buddy, and I just got this in.
Winner in the
I'm gonna be
clubhouse.
honest, the fact that you're large and so am I. But honestly, I think Malik needs a good home. Ever since I was standing for him, he tore his ACL. All right. Damn.
Let's go. That's too good to pass up.
Dude, this thing's so sick. When I saw I could get this from Fanatics, I had to pull the trigger, buddy. So
Yeah. That's gonna send me.
All right.
That's gonna send me, dude.
We got a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Congrats to everybody. If you didn't win,
Jay said he'd trade me.
Well, wow. Holy crap.
Dude,
look at this.
We doing a trade show while we're here.
So all these guys out here trying to, tell them they don't like Malik Neighbors. They're dying for his college jersey. People are just getting rid of the lucky shorts. I don't want those anymore.
I formally accept. Lock it in.
Listen, the Jackson tribe, that's my guy right there. Listen, the skunk, we closed the window. Everything's safe in here, and trust me on this. I got a lot of heat down here, buddy. I don't carry. I don't pack. I don't have my concealed to carry, but there's heat like crazy. And just wait till you see this app that we've been working on, buddy. It's gonna be making you.
All I can say is you went through those jerseys and somehow they got
large, by the way.
Well, somehow they got progressively I got more and more excited. I'm not the biggest Emeka Buga fan, but you pulled out that creamsicle.
I started with Brock Bowers. I'm like, yeah, I know what he's doing. He wants to walk on this. You can only pick one. I can't give you the whole thing, all right? We got to save some for the Jackson tribe. So you're going Neighbors?
Yeah, going Neighbors, but we made a trade, all right? The rights to Malik Neighbors has been traded to Jay Jackson.
For the lucky. Really? Wow. Okay. You know what?
No takebacks.
And Mike, you see this whole time, I'm sitting here talking about how important it is to have market flexibility. Is there ever been a better way to end the show? This is why, Mike, even though you want your DJ Moore, get younger. Get the desirable asset. That Malik Neighbors, but he didn't stand a chance. That Malik Neighbors was available for all of 3 seconds. I forgot I had it on this thing over here.
It's dope. That is dope, though.
Well, Mike said it's so dope that he's also gotten rid of it. So gifts are just being exchanged willy-nilly. I'll make sure to get them in the right package. If you do want to get some package, make sure you check out mine. Pause, but no. Patreon.com/South Harmon. You can see the whole package. But honestly, we got a merch tier, and Mike, I'll be out next week. Mike will have a guest. Going to be doing a 2026 mock draft to get the hype even more for you guys, and I'll be back next week. We'll drop some app stuff. We'll talk a lot of different things. Jay, I'll say you this, buddy. You didn't win, but I'll be in Vegas. Hope to see you in about a week. Mike, anything before we get out of here, buddy?
Nope. Like Adam said, he's not going to be here next week. Don't worry. I'll be holding it down. I'm going to have a guest. Don't know who yet.
And you guys will probably get out of here on time and start on time, frankly. So, right?
Crazy. By the way, if you want to take part in the mock draft, I'll let you know. First dibs are going to go to the Savage chat, but then I'll work my way down. Anybody who's a routine viewer on here, I'll probably just drop something on YouTube if you want to join. To fill the vacant spots and show up. That's all I ask. Show up. Don't auto pick. If you auto pick, I'm gonna fucking ridicule the living shit out of you. We'll do a 2-round rookie mock. All right. DB wants his fucking fill. He wants his fill of rookie hype. We're gonna give it to him next week.
I promised I'd be away next week. No computer. Nope. I'm not gonna take my setup. And this he's tempting me already. He's making me feel like I got the itch. I got to find a way to sneak that laptop over there, make this happen. But
we'll co-manage.
I'll tell you
I'll
what,
be on the phone.
Dude, let me vicariously co-manage. I can just see what's going on. Live time sleeper. We'll do that. Everybody else, appreciate you guys. Peter, make sure you get in my DMs as well as Mike. Well, I don't actually need Mike in my DMs. He's always in my DMs. I love him. And Jay, get in my DMs. We'll get these packages over to you. Merry Christmas in March. Other than that, I will see you back here, same time, same place, 2 weeks from now. But make sure you check out AMA next week. Mike, a guest. Great time. Rookie mock. Right of this thing. Peace.